Hey y'all, how is your Friday evening? Thank you everybody for coming in. Got Doodlebug Fart in here. Hello, my love. Southern Gal True Crime. Hello, hello. What is up? ASDFJKL. Victoria's in the house. Hope Rocks, welcome in. Doodlebugs, and hello to Miss Victoria. We got Andy Rose in here. How are you guys doing this fine evening? I thought that I hope that I didn't pick a bad time. I hate to like overlap over anybody because it's rude, y'all. It's so rude. Thank you all for coming in tonight. So we know that I'm a local and I've followed Madeline Soto's case pretty closely and have tried to make sure that I make it to her memorial at least once a month and take her flowers. We actually planted her flowers. They got mowed down. So then we took a different route and we're going to choose to take cactuses this time. And there is a short on the channel of the cactuses. If you guys haven't seen that, make sure you check it out. They're really pretty cactuses that I wanted to bring for her. There is a document that dropped, but however, this document is pretty graphic. So I'm not going to read the document. What I did find is an article that I am going to read to you guys about some of the things that are in the document, because I know that a lot of us, it's really hard to actually read and see what this man was capable of and what this mumster allowed to happen in her own home. You guys know that I'm not about bashing families. I'm not about going after families or victim or re-victimizing, but I think we all have a strong opinion of what this woman did by not protecting Madeline and not protecting her child. And the live is titled The Monsters Among Us, because that's what the channel is about. So if you're easily triggered, please self-care. I am a graphic content creator, channel holder, and advocate for missing, murdered, and unjust. So if you feel that this is not something for you, you won't hurt my feelings at all. Your mental health and self-care is what matters to me. So please step away if you feel like this is something that is going to bother you. But I am going to start out with the article first, and then I actually have the newly released audio as well. And we're going to take a look at that audio and give that audio a listen. So I'm going to try to make this full screen, guys. All right. Oh, not Discord. So Madeline Soto's case. New Stephen Stern's document details Google Drive's sleeping arrangements and security footage. So there's a short video here, and you guys know my swamp signal, so hopefully this is going to play without being choppy like the ocean water. And then we're going to read over the article.
Now for the latest in the Maddie Soto case. We are now hearing what the man accused of killing the 13-year-old told deputies after she went missing. Deputies say Stefan Stearns made up an elaborate story claiming he and Maddie went to a McDonald's before he dropped her off at school. But police believe Maddie was already dead. And newly released court documents give graphic details about the sex crime case against Stearns. Investigators say he had nearly 2,000 files of explicit images and video on a Google Drive. Stearns initially told investigators he accidentally did a factory reset on his cell phone the morning Maddie went missing. Take a listen to what he told detectives.
I noticed that you don't have anything before this morning. Is that unusual on your phone?
No, it's a new phone. Stupid. I went to do an update yesterday morning.
These new court documents do not detail how Maddie died, but investigators say she was likely killed before the school day started on February 26th. Well, this is just some of the coverage on the Madeline Soto case that we have. For more details on the new evidence, interviews with Stearns, and security footage, all you have to do is head to our website, fox35orlando.com, and look for this story.
So thanks to our beautiful dandy, we have the audio. And if you guys haven't checked out the docket, he's actually done some amazing work, and his supporters and subscribers have donated to get those documents.
Blip is a self-serve digital billboard advertising platform for
Well, we
businesses
love
of all
Blip,
sizes.
but we're not going to listen to their ad. All right. So back to where I was. So this is Osceola County, Florida. Warning, some of the details in this news report are graphic and may be disturbing to some readers. These documents provide new details previously unknown, including the initial interview police had with Stephen Stearns, Madeline's mom, boyfriend, not stepdad. His timeline of what happened that day: Madeline was reported missing. The 1,700 explicit images allegedly found on his cell phone. Details about his relationship with the 13-year-old girl. The documents, mainly investigative reports, summaries, and a record in between a recorded interview between Stearns and detective, providing graphic, potentially disturbing details that led to 60 child S-related charges. Stearns was initially arrested on 2 days after Madeline was reported missing. It is also officers' details of Stearns' timeline of what happened in the hours before and after Madeline was reported dropped off at school. Officials and law enforcement said Madeline actually never made it to class that day. The recorded interview was recorded on February 27th, the day before he was described by law enforcement as the prime suspect in the disappearance. He had also not been charged with any crimes related to the alleged images found on his cell phone and her disappearance at the time of death at the interview. And we're not going to show his photo because I give two shits about showing his photo. Stearns was indicted by the grand jury and charged with first-degree murder on April 25th, nearly 2 months after Madeline's body was found in a grassy area in Osceola County. And that's where her memorial is, guys. It's out on Old Hickory Tree. The state's attorney's office has not publicly commented on a release of these documents, but Fox 35 has asked for a statement. It should also be noted that these documents pertain to 60 charges as facing for sexual battery, molestation, and not the murder charge. Fox 35 previously reported the list of evidence that the state's attorney's office had in its possession. Related to the homicide investigation, the list included logs, incident reports, law enforcement, social media accounts possibly tied to Madeline, car and cell phone tracking information, medical examiner's office report. Details on how Madeline died or the circumstances surrounding her death have not been released. The medical examiner's office has declined to release her autopsy report, citing it in the investigation and state law. Here's what we learned from the new documents. Over 1,700 images found in the Google Drive account on Stephen Stearns' cell phone. As detectives were searching for Madeline, officials arrested Stephen Stearns, alleging that he had child abuse material on his cell phone, and he had voluntarily provided his phone to law enforcement to presumably aid in those search efforts. However, he told them that he had inadvertently performed a factory reset on his phone prior to giving it to law enforcement shortly after Stern was booked into jail and charged with 60 counts of battery, lewd and lascivious molestation, and unlawful possession of materials depicting the sexual performance of a child. I don't know what the heck I did, but somehow during the massive OS update, I managed to factory reset my phone and lose all my contacts and my information, Stearns told police, according to a 43-minute recording obtained by Fox 35. And then this is the video about how he was charged with first-degree murder. Fox 35 previously reported that the images allegedly found on Stearns' phone were graphic and sexual, and the subject appeared to be a child. According to the probable cause statement connected to those charges, the documents allege that the photos back in June of 2019. According to the newly released documents, law enforcement allegedly found some of 1,700 images with the folder of the Google Drive account. Several of those images were explicit, and some appeared to be Madeline. And they were taken over at least 2 years. And then there's a picture of Maddie. The documents also allege there was ongoing abuse between Stearns and Madeline. In the interview with police, Stearns confirmed that he had several photos of Google Drive account, and there were photos of him and Maddie, the report said. When I asked Stephen about all the pictures that he had saved, Stephen then asked if he should be talking to a lawyer. Shortly after that, Stephen requested an attorney. A detective wrote the report. Documents Stephen Stearns occasionally slept in the same bed with Jen Soto and Madeline. The documents also provided details about some of the sleeping arrangements. Jen Soto, Madeline's mother, told detectives that she and Stearns had dated on and off for at least 7 years, and that he had lived on and off in the home. When he was in the home, however, it was not unusual for the three of them to sleep in the same bed, for him to sleep in the same bed as Madeline, while Jen slept somewhere else or was not at home, according to the documents. The details were contained in a law enforcement summary report following the conversation with Jen during the search of her daughter and in law enforcement conversations with Stearns. Stearns told law enforcement that Maddie always needed human contact. Guys, this makes me want to puke right here. When going to sleep, something that Stearns referred to as snuggling, the report said. And like I said in Doggo's chat, I'd like to snuggle my hands around his neck till his freaking eyes pop out. I am the person she goes to when her mom gets in a fight with her and she needs comfort for her. I am that person for her. Sick piece of shit. So there will probably be some adult language in this live, so I apologize ahead of time. Documents Madeline Soto's mom reacts to the photo of alleged abuse. In the same conversation between law enforcement and Jen, the report implies that detectives let her know about suspicious of the alleged abuse. And the report says that Redacted did not want to believe that Redacted, which we know that's Jen and Stephen, well, the report states that Jen did not want to believe that Madeline and Stephen were engaged in sexual activity. Jen asked to see the image and Stephen and Stephen and Madeline, which he doesn't even deserve the respect of saying his name correctly, but you guys know who I'm talking about, monster. When shown a printed photo of what allegedly was found on the Google Drive, Madeline's mom claimed she did not recognize anything in the picture, as if she was in denial, and then later became visibly upset. The document states, to be clear, Jen has not been named an official person of interest or is suspect in connected to her daughter's disappearance or death, nor is she been charged with anything related to this case. However, officials previously said everyone who is close to Madeline is being considered a suspect until ruled out. It is also unclear how much or how little Jen and her family are cooperating with the investigation. Investigators couldn't answer those questions at a news conference last month, citing the ongoing case. And we saw that news conference, and it was a whole lot of no comment, can't comment on that. It's an ongoing case, which I understand that they're doing their due diligence to make sure that they bring Madeline at full justice, and I appreciate that. But I'll get into how I really feel after I read the article here, which many of you guys know. Stephen Starr's timeline in the morning of Madeline's disappearance riddled with inconsistencies. The interview shows in a 43-minute interview with law enforcement on the day that Madeline was reported missing, police talked with Stearns about where he was during the morning hours, the route that he took to take Madeline to school, and where he went immediately after. In the interview, Stearns appears to have difficulty placing the exact roads and the route he took the way to Hunters Creek Middle School. At what times. He blamed apparent inconsistencies in the timeline on not being a morning person and taking apparent prescribed medications for anxiety when questioned detectives, according to the report. 911 calls from the morning that Madeline Soto went missing released. Here are a few of Stearns' recounts to the police, as I heard in the interview. And we're going to listen to the interview, so I'm not going to read that. I left my phone at home morning 2. I was so busy writing her to get out the door on time that I left my phone. She left her phone. We both left our phones. Bullshit. Stephen Stearns, Jen Soto did not look for Madeline when she was reported missing, Stearns tells police. In an interview with police, Stearns said that he and Jen stayed local while the rest of her family went out to physically look for Madeline. An officer asked Stearns if he and Jen had driven together or separately, and he said he didn't think they had driven anywhere at all. He said he was zonked out on anxiety medication and was unable to recall where he was. Bullshit. My brain was mush, and I was on so many tranquilizers to keep me stabilized, he said, according to the interview. I was having rolling panic attacks and breaking down crying. Document surveillance video captured the person slumped over in Stephen Stearns' vehicles. According to the report, during the search for Madeline, detectives obtained surveillance video from the entrance to the gated community in Kissimmee where Stearns and Jen and Madeline lived. The surveillance video showed Stearns' vehicle leaving the complex with a female wearing a green sweater in the front seat. The report said the female was slumped over to her left, which was abnormal way for a person to be seated in a vehicle. And according to the document, she was in the front seat. So if there's been any question about that, that's where she was in the front seat of the car. During the initial search for Madeline, law enforcement previously said they had obtained surveillance video that showed her in a vehicle. And they believed that she was dead at the time the surveillance video was captured. This newly obtained document does not say what time surveillance footage was captured, nor does it identify the person in the green sweater as Madeline. Again, the details are circumstances of how Madeline died. How she was found, what she was wearing has not been confirmed or released by law enforcement. Well, that's kind of not true, because if you guys think about it, the wonderful, glorious sheriff that released the photo of Madeline's body in the little shitty tree line, Jen and Stearns told detectives that Madeline had been dropped off at school on the morning of February 26. Law enforcement ultimately determined that Madeline was not at school that day. Suspect Stephen Stearns complains about Jill sleeping on a concrete during transport. Poor monster. Oh, idiot. Later, investigators found Madeline's backpack and school-issued laptop in the dumpster of the apartment complex in Kissimmee. It remains to be unclear at the time if her belongings were found at the same apartment complex where the surveillance video was captured. Again, Fox 35, I really wish I had found this on Welsh too, because we already have a time of when they found it. It is also unclear exactly when Madeline was killed, but detectives believe it was between February 25th and 27th, according to the documents. The girl knows nothing but love here in this house. Whoa, you freaking monster. What is next in Stephen Stearns' case? A pretrial hearing for Stephen Stearns is scheduled for July 10th with a trial set of July 16th, according to Osceola County court records. regarding the sexual battery case. Stern's pretrial hearing is scheduled for July 10th and the trial for August 19th, shows the records. And that's the end of the article, guys. So let me get back over here to chat. Hopefully everybody's still hung in there with me. Yeah, I guess I probably should put the trigger warning up. I'll put that up for the audio because the audio is pretty infuriating, to say the least. And I'll run through comments real quick here, guys. Yeah, definitely trigger warning. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all you. Marion Tate, you're so welcome, honey. And like I said, anytime that you and Miss Barbara want to come up on panel, you're more than welcome to come up on panel, and we'll do a show. Neil Homestead, welcome in. Amethyst Moon, aka Hoodie and a Crowbar. Hello, sending healing positive vibes, energy to all. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. I have the grandbabies, so I will be sharing to all my groups. Thank you, Marion. You're awesome. Doodlebug is a rock star. We love Doodlebug over here. Yeah. Yeah, big wow. When will she get arrested? Hopefully soon. And I don't understand. Right, Lorena Bobbitt needs to pay this sumbitch a visit. I agree. Electric chair. Hey, I'm from Kentucky, so I'm a big fan of the electric chair. I say fry his ass and let me sit in the little room behind the window and watch his ass fry. But that's just me. Tony, welcome in, honey. Victoria, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I wonder if they will live stream the hearings. I know Orange County Courthouse live streams hearings. I'm not sure about Osceola, but if I can at least the way this new job works is like the PTO time, pay time off, whatever. It's kind of screwy. But what I'm really going to strive for is to be able to at least make it to a couple of days of the trial and live tweet the trial. I really want to be there for the whole thing, but I do work during the day, so it's kind of hard, but I am going to try to do that. Private Potato, welcome in. I love that name. Doodle sent you here. Thank you, Doodle. You're a rock star. You haven't seen my investigator. I love my investigator. Stephanie KNWS, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Doodlebug is a rock star. We love Doodlebug. And I will pull up the investigator so I can share that with you guys. I have the shirt back here, but we'll just pull up the thing if I can find it. Guys, I make so many graphics. Here we go. I get bored and I make graphics too, so you never know what I'm making in the background. Okay, we're going to share the screen. I'm going to share the window, and we're going to share the investigator. So for those of you guys that are new here, I am not an investigator by any means. I do not claim to be an investigator. I am an investigator, and you guys are all welcome to come in and spud with me. Come be my spuds. We are the brain pickers, hence the channel name Mind of Monsters. Craven Crimes, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Southern Girl says, I'm also not a family basher, but how can you let a man you're dating sleep in the same bed with your daughter, alone with your daughter? Yeah, and not only that, so the documents actually read that that she not only let her sleep in the bed alone with this monster, but she also apparently told detectives that when she had anxiety, she would have Stefan and Maddie go sleep in another room. Just what the actual fuck is going through your mind to let your preteen and teenage daughter be anywhere near this freaking monster? I mean, like, I can't wrap my mind around it. And again, anything I say here is my opinion and my opinion only. My opinion is as a mother that raised stepdaughters, because I don't have any girls of my own, um, there's no way in hell that she didn't know something was going on with this child. There would have been physical evidence that you would have been able to see that something was going on, that she was being brutally molested by this monster. Not only that, her sheets, and I don't know about you guys, but not very many kids wash their own laundry. Her behavior would have changed. Um, I mean, you can see it in your child when something like this is going on. Like, absolutely. Do you love the investigator? Thank you, Doodle. You guys, you are so awesome. Thank you for sending people over. Thank you. Steve, welcome in, Mr. Steve. It is an honor to be here. Anybody that wants to jump up on panel, the stream link is pinned to the top of chat. You are welcome to come on panel. If you just want to show me your face for a couple of seconds, if I don't know your name, then you're more than welcome to come up and sit up here on the front porch with me. I'll be happy to have you. I'm glad everybody likes my investigator. Actually, Love Handle, welcome in. She knew exactly what was going on. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Butterbread, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Much love to everybody that's come in tonight. Actually, I showed this on the live the other day, but I'll show you guys this shirt that many of you guys know that my sister makes all my merch. I got a box full of cups over here. Tonight's not kind of a good night for a giveaway, but we will do a fun live, and I'll do a giveaway of cups. But there's the investigator shirt, guys. So I'm super excited about that. And there is like some other merch and stuff that she has made for the channel. You guys, sometimes if you see me on Doggo's panel, and even on here, sometimes I wear the channel shirt. And then my stepdaughter has a shirt that says I run on coffee and conspiracy theories, and it's a channel shirt too. So very, very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. Trash Panda, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Tony, for being here. Love you, honey. You're awesome. Southern Gal and Mom, I've corrected an oversight of mine. I put both of y'all on. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And I will drop Mr. Steve's link. That's True Crime Web. If you are not subbed up to Mr. Steve, what are you doing with your life? Because you are missing out on a great human being with knowledge that pour over the top of your cup. And he's my coffee buddy. So I'm kind of partial to him. And Mrs. Steve keeps everything on lockdown. So definitely make sure you guys hit up Mr. Steve over there. And Nightbot should drop his link. So what I'm going to do, there it is. So if you guys are not subbed up, make sure, well, not my Twitter. What is going on with StreamYard, y'all? Sub up to Mr. Steve. He's freaking awesome. Lil Pekka, welcome in. I love that name. Thank you so much. And Tony, if you can, honey, if you're on a device where you can, if not, let me know and I'll do it. If you could grab Southern Girl True Crimes link, that would be freaking amazing. But guys, you know how I feel about Steven Stearns, and you know how I feel about all these monsters that walk among us. You know, it's not normal, people. It's not normal for a mom to allow what happened in that house to happen to her daughter. And it's not normal for a man or a woman, I'm not bashing on men, to have the tendencies that these monsters have.
Let's see, I don't know. Let me think. Let me knock on Mr. Noggin. Who could trick us into doing that? Could have been Satan.
I mean, that's my opinion. You guys know that. You guys know that. And for those of y'all that are new to the channel, they will eat trolls around here. We don't do any kind of drama, any kind of hate. You're welcome to your opinion. Please have your opinion. I actually appreciate the community's opinion, and I want to hear what you guys have to say, because without the community, I'd be sitting here looking at this screen talking to myself with my fuzzy hair. So please have an opinion. I love the opinions. Talk about what you want to. We are that is our house llama. That would be our drama llama right there, guys. And you know I love you guys with everything. And guys, I do pop off camera. I do camera up most of the time. Even if I'm on somebody else's panel, I do try to camera up because I know it's nice to see a face instead of an avatar. But however, I am a smoker and I don't smoke on camera. So if you guys see me pop off camera, that is where I went. So let me check back with chat, and I'm gonna pop off camera. Lil Pekka, I love that name. Thank you so much. And Mr. Steve is a rock star, and so is Mr. Steve. You have been in my Nightbot since I started my Nightbot, what, 2 years ago? Back, before Chris made you famous. You got all big and too busy for all of us. I'm just kidding, guys. So Mr. Steve does amazing work. He actually has a nonprofit organization. He does searches for families for cold cases. He's a phenomenal human being. And I'm honored to say he's a true friend. Protect your children even against the world. Absolutely. Beautifully said. Absolutely beautifully said. Girl, my hair stays frizzy. It's just, I'm Irish and Native American, so it stays all kinds of frizzy, but we own it. We own that beauty. Thank you so much, Tony. You're a rock star. Showing off my Google machine skills. I make all my own graphics, Mr. Steve. I love making graphics. Like, I absolutely love making my graphics because
Isn't that special?
it's quite special. And I try not to, be a and where Mr. Steve is actually an investigator and retired investigator with phenomenal credibility. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Sorry, guys. It's 15 minutes till 12. We're investigators over here, y'all. All right, so we're going to get into the meat and taters. All right, where are we at? True Crime Web is freaking awesome. I love Mr. Steve. You spelled it wrong. It's fine, girl. When I'm on my phone, y'all never know what's going to come up in chat because my phone, I told the girls at work today, autocorrect is my nemesis. You are German and Cherokee. I am Irish and Mississippian. My great-grandmother was a chief's daughter of the Mississippian tribe in Illinois. I'm very proud of my heritage. Very, very, very proud of my heritage, guys. Well, I am glad, Craven Crimes. I love that name, and hopefully you'll stick around here with us. We're kind of crazy. And you love the ones I made for me. Everyone loves the cow video for supporters. I'm glad, Southern Girl. I love making graphics. I absolutely do. Cluminati was asking Doggo about a peen screen tonight. and I actually whipped her up a very classy peen screen. Again, if you guys are not subbed up to Cluminati, what are you doing with your life? Go sub to this girl. She is amazing and very outspoken. She does amazing work, and she's just doing some great things with Sebastian's Rogers case. So this was the peen screen I made for her. Classy, 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 classy. Love Clue. Beautiful, beautiful person. Tony says he's a European mutt. I love it. There's Drifty. There is our merch creator and sister. Yep, that went right over her head. It did. It did. Well, when you're new to the YouTube streets, and I mean, she's not new, but she's new enough that she didn't know what a peen screen was. So I've only been peen screened. I've only had one come up. Mini Monsters Texan. Give me just a second, guys. All right, so I had to do the mom thing real quick. And I have got hella allergies. So if you guys have seen me like scratching my face or anything, it's because, dude, I'm like, ugh. But my peen screen is very simple. I've got my background that I like to use as a cover. And then I also have this one. I actually have a tote bag that my sister made for. I did get cups. So I have a request. So I've got a screenshot. Let me pull up the screenshot because, guys, I'm the screenshot queen here. Nope, that was a case request. So whatever size the Yeti cups are that the handle goes on, and forgive me for not having this. Let's see if I can find it here. I took a screenshot. You know what? It might be on the computer. But I have a request for one of the big cups. So, and I think it's a screenshot on here. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. But she wants one of like the Yeti, like the big, like my Yeti cup, like my big cup. It's way over there. I can't reach it. I'll knock everything off. Yeah, 40 ounce. Thank you, Doodlebug. You're awesome. And I took a screenshot of it, but I think I took it on the computer, so I'd have to look for the file. But the big, like my big purple cup that says insanity is repeating the same action and expecting a different outcome with a handle on it. Doodle, was it in here that she asked, or was it Doggo? I think it was here, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Andy. I thought I had a screenshot of it. I wasn't sure if you were still in here, love. But she wants a big cup with a handle on it. Was it the channel logo or the Investitator? Drifty right here is the one that makes the merch. So I couldn't remember what size you wanted, honey. My brain is so mushy when I get off work. It's so bad. Like, it's quite embarrassing how mushy my brain is. Channel logo. If you can hear the sound of my voice, Drifty Rabbit, we have a merch request for a big Yeti cup with the Mind of Monsters logo on it, please and thank you, ma'am. All right, so I'm going to pull up this audio that Dandy so graciously dropped in Discord for us. And again, trigger warning, guys. I'll pull that back up so that way the mods don't feel like they have to keep that up. But this is going to be pretty disgusting to listen to. Self-care is important. There's no sound. There's no sound. Okay. Freak me out. Oh man, I hope we didn't lose the link. Party foul. Come on. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to get it pulled back up. Give me just a second here. I'm so sorry. I thought we didn't have sound. My bad. Totally my bad. Yeah, there's no sound now because I stopped it and it's on SoundCloud, so it won't let me start it back up without logging in. And I don't want to like dox myself on stream. So I apologize, guys. Oh, come on. Life happens. We got sound now. What the hell? Hang on.
So we
How about now? Is
continued
there
on.
sound?
And she wanted to be dropped off a little down the ways from the school. She's got this phase that she's been into lately where she's very particular about what car she's seen getting out of in front of the school. She prefers her mom's car, but my cars
Okay,
are
so I'm
just
gonna
kind of
try to
hoopies.
start it over.
I get it. It's an image thing. But
Case number 24-11313. Today's date is February 27, 2024. The time is 19:16 hours. We're in Kissimmee speaking with Stefan Stearns. Okay, so I know that you already spoke to the other detective, right, about everything that kind of happened today. If you can just kind of go over it with us one more time, the timeline from like when you guys woke up and took her to school and all that.
so we woke up early. The plan was that we were going to get McDonald's breakfast on the way, so we made amazingly good time.
I don't mean to interrupt you, okay? Neither of us were here yesterday, so if you can be kind of like specific about like times and stuff like that, okay?
Woke up around 7:15, somewhere around there, which is an early start for us, but we had talked about getting McDonald's breakfast beforehand, so we wanted to make good time. We did make good time. We got out the door maybe 7:30ish, 7:45ish, maybe. Got over to that area. She was asleep in the car most of the time, just snoozing until we got there. We got to McDonald's. We're close to McDonald's. I said, "You still want it?" She wasn't interested in the McDonald's anymore, so we continued on. And she wanted to be dropped off a little down the ways from the school. She's got this phase that she's been into lately where she's very particular about what car she's seen getting out of in front of the school. She prefers her mom's car, but my cars are, I guess, kind of hoopies. I get it. It's an image thing. But that was sometime probably between 8:20 and 8:40ish. somewhere in there. It was along this stretch of the road that on the right side that has all the communities on it. Before you get to the overpass, you could see the overpass from where it was. So it was on that side, on that stretch of road, and that's where I dropped her off. She said she was going to go wait for her friends. She was going to go find them and hang out and wait for her friends. And I asked if that was going to be okay. She said, yeah, it's fine. Kids get dropped off early enough as it is. So it's not totally unusual for that to happen. It's just not usually that early that I drop her off. I do school runs every once in a while for her. I said, okay. Let her out. Have a good day. Love you. Thanks. Love you too. And I turned around and was driving away and was watching her in my rearview mirror to make sure.
Oh my God, y'all! This man makes me cringe. Just he literally makes me cringe. Welcome, Mini Monster. Thank you for joining me on panel.
Hello.
For those of you guys that have not met Mini Monster, this is my oldest son. He's my co-host and my rock star. They miss you.
I'm debating staying. It's not because I've got it. Well, I am kind of playing my game. I don't know. I'm just kind of vibing tonight. It's been a weird day.
Well, this is kind of triggering, so if you don't feel like you can stay, you're welcome to drop down.
Oh, it's just in particular, I see something that I don't like already, and I might end up leaving. But I love you.
I love you too. I'm gonna finish playing this interview.
That she was going where she was supposed to go, and she was moving in that direction, but she was rummaging around in her backpack or something. What I assumed was probably headphones or something like that. But
hey, Tony, what's going on?
I got later that she forgot her phone here, so she may have been rummaging for her phone. But she was still kind of making her way towards that direction, so it looked okay. It looked like any other day. And I just continued on.
Okay. When you said you dropped her off, like in the area, kind of like where exactly did you drop her off?
So if you pull down the street going towards the school, you've got that whole strip of communities on the right side there. It was in that stretch of sidewalk there. We pulled in and maybe about halfway up the street or so, and she was like, right here's good.
Was it like in one of the apartment complexes, the church?
Not in, it was outside on the apartment. It was just on the sidewalk on the side of the road there. Just like a tuck and roll, you know?
Okay, so like if I were to be on the road, where, like, what do you remember seeing that you dropped her off at?
I remember the overpass is up ahead. The sidewalk was on the right, row of trees. There's, I think, a median in the middle. And then there was another community maybe across from that before you get to the church. So it was like before the church.
So Town Loop Boulevard's that street that connects to the school.
Yeah.
Is that the street that you?
Is this which one?
So that's Town Loop Boulevard, right?
Town
that's the
Loop,
one
yes. And where's the school located here?
The school's right here.
School's right there. Okay, so the school would be on the left in this case. Here's the overpass.
So you guys came from this
side? Yeah, we came from Town Loop, I think, which is Town Center. Yeah, so we made a right here and then pulled somewhere about.
So you came from Town Center and turned onto Town Loop.
Yeah, where's the church? Is this the church here?
There is
so,
that's the church.
Okay, so we weren't up to the church yet. So we were pulled on here, and then we pulled maybe about halfway up here, and I dropped her off somewhere in this area here.
And she walked from there to the school?
Yeah.
It's a pretty long way.
It's maybe a block or so, but it's not out of the ordinary for her. She likes to do that sometimes. She likes the cold weather. She was wearing her hoodie. She likes the cold walks.
So you dropped her off near Lilac? Does that sound right?
Yeah, it wasn't at a cross street. It was just a bit of the sidewalk there.
So did you merge into the sidewalk, or did you stop in the middle of the street, or?
I just pulled over to the sidewalk there. Let her hop out.
How often do you drop her off?
This might be the 5th or 6th time I've ever done it.
Okay. And when you drop her off, where do you normally drop her off at?
Normally down the street from the school, she requests that a lot.
Like the same area or somewhere else?
Especially if it's sometimes in the church parking lot, sometimes just wherever she tells us to let her out. As long as it's close, you know.
So it's halfway between Town Loop and Town Center and the church?
Yeah, it's just in this stretch right here. Like we got about maybe halfway up and it was there.
The McDonald's that you guys were gonna stop at, did you pull into the plaza at any point?
No, she 86'd the idea before we even got there.
What do you mean by 86?
Poo-pooed the idea, didn't want it anymore.
Okay.
Wasn't in the mood anymore.
At any point while you were driving to the school, did you make a U-turn?
Yeah, I tried to sell her on McDonald's one more time because I was still kind of hungry, but at that point she was also just wanting to get to school.
Okay.
So.
Where?
Right, considering it's Florida, Tony. Tony says she likes the cold weather and not because she's embarrassed to be dropped off. Yeah, right. Yeah, bullshit. He's such a lying piece of fucking shit. Like I said, probably some adult language because you guys are very well aware of how I feel about this guy.
Turned right back around.
Where did you make that U-turn at?
Actually, the school park, not the school parking lot, the church parking lot. I pulled into that, turned around and pulled back out. Did a UE there and went back to the McDonald's. And she still wasn't having it. And that's when we came back. See, the McDonald's is on the same town loop or town center. It connects to the same road that the
school's on?
Yeah, so it's like a straight shot.
So you guys came from, just so I can kind of get a good visualization, Town Center, and where did you come from, Town Center?
Town Center, so where's the McDonald's? I'm so bad at reading these, I'm sorry. So we
This
came,
is all Town Center.
So we came across on Town Loop, I believe. Is that the school is that the road that the school is on?
No, this is Town Center. So
Okay.
you said you were on Town Center and then you made a right on Town Loop, which is the one that takes you to the school.
Yes, correct.
Right?
I think you passed it.
But what I'm saying is before Town Loop, or I'm sorry, for Town Center, what street did you take?
I'm so sorry. I'm bad with the streets around here.
How do you usually get to the school?
I just take John Young and then wait till I see the McDonald's and make a left there and then follow that around, and that goes straight into the road that the school is on.
So it's about a 15-minute drive from the condo to the school. And just for context, there is a live on my channel where we went and planted Maddie's flowers. And we actually stopped at the school and left a really pretty like metal cross at the memorial at Maddie's school. And then we drove around. Well, we turned right and went to the church and drove around the parking lot of the church as well. And it's not a small church. And it took about between 30 and 45 seconds to get from the school to the church in the car.
Just use the landmarks, and I don't memorize the street names.
Is that JYP?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is JYP.
I mean, at the McDonald's, you turn right?
And then you said you made a left at the McDonald's? So that's John Young Parkway, you're going north on John Young.
McDonald's, and then go around, and then that shoots straight into the road that she's on.
Okay. Because that's...
I believe that's the correct road.
Yeah, well, that's the fastest way to get there. But you told me you came from Town Center and Town Loop.
I'm sorry, I don't know the street names.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So
I'm doing my best.
That's okay. So now that we know that you came from John Young Parkway and you made a left on Town Loop, so you passed the McDonald's.
Yeah, that was when she said no to McDonald's the first time.
Okay. So you guys keep on going on Town Loop.
Yeah. But at that point, we still had a lot of time to kill. Very early.
Sorry, I'm
So
trying
what did
to
you guys
fix
do?
my
Drove towards the school,
StreamYard.
made a U-turn, came back,
So
tried to
that
do the
way
McDonald's
I
thing
can
again. She
connect.
didn't want
Oh,
it.
there we
So
go.
where did
Hold on.
you,
I
one more
did
time,
give
where
her.
did you do the U-turn at?
Oop.
It probably was right by the church because it was still way too early for school. So it was on that stretch of road. I mean, they had the meeting there in the separation, so that left turn where the church is, you could make a U-turn there.
I'm having technical difficulties. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to connect my StreamYard.
And then after you dropped her off, what did you do?
Live.
Stayed, talked to her for a minute, made sure, is it all right that you're going early? Because it was still early.
Mm-hmm.
She said, yeah, it's fine. I'm going to hang out, wait for my friends to get there, which she does sometimes. So it didn't sound, outrageous or anything. That was it. Told her to have a good day. I loved her. She told me she loved me too. I turned around to leave, and I was watching her in my rearview mirror. And she looked like she was walking in the right direction. She was rummaging in her bag a little bit, like I said, but still sort of just shambling in the right direction while she was doing it. So it looked normal. It looked okay.
Okay, and then what did you do after you left the area?
I left to go to the local vape shop because I needed some more vape juice. They weren't quite open yet, so I ended up going back home. Waited about an hour or so, and then went back and checked the vape shop again. It was open, so I got what I needed there, and came back.
Do you remember what time you came home?
The first time was probably right around 10, close to it. And then I waited here and went back to the vape shop. Probably finished at the vape shop and came back home again a little after 11.
Okay. You said the first time that you hung out was a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Was there when you got here at 10? Okay.
I think so. She might have been at her blood appointment. Let me double check. I know she had a blood appointment at some point during the day.
Tony, we had one friend that came forward that I saw. I believe it was a Telemundo interview. And he mainly said that, I think he called Stefan Maddie's stepdad, whatever, the monster, was bad to Maddie. And it's heartbreaking. It's disgusting. And he is pure evil, like pure evil. And, when you circle back to the beginning, hey, doggo, welcome in, honey. When you circle back to the beginning and think about what Grandma said, she made a comment that Maddie was scared to sleep by herself.
It's okay. We don't have to ask her right now.
Sorry, everything's a blur.
So she might have been here. She might have not have been here
I
the first time.
believe she was here because she was sleeping in as much as she possibly could because she's been messed up with a new work schedule. So she had to be here because she didn't want to sleep in.
Okay.
I'll double check, but yeah, I believe she was here.
And then what time did you say you left again to the smoke shop?
Maybe after an hour or so, maybe 11 or so.
Okay. And then what time did you get to the smoke shop?
It's maybe 10 minutes away, so not long after that. Stopped in and got some juice. And,
What's the name of the smoke shop?
Eastman Broadway.
Okay.
It's just over off of John Young. It's not far from the school.
And then after the smoke shop, what did you do? Okay, for how long?
At least until maybe 12:30, 12:45ish, something like that.
And then what'd you do after that?
I had a couple errands to run over on 192. She was talking about making a BJ shopping list. She just wanted to make sure I was back in time for us to both go pick up So I was visiting some card shops around the area on 192.
Okay, I don't know
We
what
had
the
new
deal is.
trading cards
It's
being
acting
released,
crazy, so
seeing what the situation was with it.
Do you remember what places you visited?
It's okay, bud. If you can't stay up, it's cool.
it's not
It
that.
just
It's not that. For some reason, StreamYard is like, because my phone is jailbroken and I have to manually update certain applications. Um, it makes it weird for different proprietary apps that allow Google to log in. So like StreamYard has a link where I can join the chat and I don't have to leave to go to YouTube to talk to everybody if I put myself on mute. And for some reason, it won't let me join the chat. It just keeps crashing the application. I apologize. I'm sorry.
You're good. Hey, while I've got you up here, we had a question. Well, we didn't have a question. I believe it was Doggo's chat that I was in, and Drifty, or not Drifty, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Doodle's in. So Doodle can correct me if I'm wrong, but somebody wanted to know if you have a jailbroken phone, does your location still show up? It might have been the docket. Whoever's live it was.
It really, it doesn't, it really just depends. Requiring on what model that you're currently on, what version jailbreak, what you've done to go about. Because see, like, for example, my phone is on 15.0, which is a almost 3-year-old update. I've kept it for specific reasons, but I technically would be more susceptible to having my phone jailbroken. Well, there's things I've done to keep that from happening, but my phone would be necessarily, quote unquote, susceptible to different hacks that could be implemented or exploits that could be implemented. But that's kind of the whole point of jailbreaking, or being able to execute code.
So Doggo is in chat. He is a dear friend and a phenomenal creator, and I've been infiltrating his panel quite frequently because I love going over there. He's got a question. He says, "What does jailbreaking a phone do? Can you kind of break it down for everybody in like layman's terms because we're not techies on what exactly that means?"
Basically, and it's not just cell phones. Hell, I'm sitting in front of a jailbroken PlayStation 3 right now, which is pretty cool. I'll turn my camera on. In my little thing, it says I'm playing Save MGO. Sorry. I don't know what the hell is going on here. I can't flip the camera around. Oh, wait, never mind. Oh, well, right now it's got that's to keep it from burning up.
Oh,
But yeah, that's
a
a mood. Well, I've got it split open that way. It keeps it from melting because it's a PlayStation 3, but it's a jailbroken console, and this is a custom package that I've got installed for a game called Save MGO. Jailbreaking just gives you the access to kernel commands or master privileges on the device. Sometimes it gives you, depending on what firmware you're using, what device you're on, whether it be an iPhone, whether it be a PlayStation, it gives you the opportunity to use kernel commands, which allow you to sign pretty much whatever applications you want. Gives you root access to where, like iPhones, for example, it's kind of, in layman's terms. Okay.
like I said, we're not techies here. Tony says his computer
Basically, what
does the same
you
thing.
can do
He
is
tries to link
execute.
stream.
You can execute custom code that has been patched, or it allows you to circumvent certain security measures and features on a device to where it's a little bit more freeing and a little bit less ball and chain, if you will. Like iPhones, for example, with each update, they patch out certain things to keep from the device being exploited or jailbroken, quote unquote. But if you stay on a lower or older firmware, as times move on, different communities build different packages or tools to be able to take advantage of that older firmware, and you can install your own applications, add your own themes, different things you can do. But yes, it would make your device more susceptible to being hacked, if you will, quote unquote.
Yes, doggo. This is my oldest son, Mini Monster. Thank you. I'm honored. He is my
Well,
twin.
no, see, all kernel privileges do is a kernel privilege is like a master. It's master access. It's iPhones. You have to have kernel privileges. Um, I think Androids, you just root your device. It's weird. Androids, really, you don't have any, unless you're going to be committing piracy, which is federal fraud. Um,
Meh.
yeah, but Androids, it's a lot more less common because you can kind of do whatever the hell you want to as it is. Install your own applications, put your own. If you wanted to, you can put your phone in recovery mode and put your own operating system on there. If you wanted to put Linux or something on your Android device for whatever reason, you could do that.
It's just a wee little federal crime, doggo.
Look, it's kind of like a gray. I wouldn't say because piracy is definitely a crime, but it's more of a gray area nowadays because a lot of different companies have made it to where proprietary software is the only thing you can use on their devices. So, or like for example, there's a whole, I believe it's actually a class action case with Sony right now that they're in for digital marketing because they have narrowed down the market to where you either have to own the physical disc. That's why they released the disc attachment for their digital consoles, because it's antitrust or some shit. They're the only company that can sell you games from their market platform, so they have to legally give you the option to purchase a disc drive to be able to put a disc drive in it.
So Doggo says this. So this guy, I'll bet, knows how to mod certain games.
That's what Save MGO is. I know how to do a lot.
So I'll tell you guys a story. So when he was, were you 6 or 7 years old? I got him a Nintendo DS, right?
Oh shit.
So he goes in his room and he plays this Nintendo. I'll tell you guys 2 stories. So we'll start out with the Nintendo DS. He was wee little people. Well, he's never been wee little, but he was wee little people. So get him a Nintendo DS, right? He goes in his room and I think he was in his sister's room. Were you in April's room? I think he was in April's room. And like 3 hours later he comes out and he's like, Mom, look what I did." He managed somehow at 7 years old to go into the back part of the game, and guys, again, not a techie, so it's not gonna be, like, all technical coming out of me, but he figured out how to create games inside the game system, and he had made little stick-looking men, which they were actually little characters, and
You could fight them.
had created a fighting game inside of he hacked his Nintendo DS at 7 years old.
Which is still something you can do to this day. They have a program which is funny. It's really funny. The program's called FBI, and they have another program called CIA, and they're literally named that for those reasons. They're programs where you can install, say, if you let's put it in a legal perspective, right? Because everything, say you physically own a game, right? And you want to be able to take that game out of your console and you want to be able to play it without the disc, right? Something as simple as that. That's a legal process. You can dump the data on that disc onto your console after it's jailbroken, and from there, you no longer need the disc. You can throw it in the technically, you can't throw it in the garbage. You have to keep it, but you still own that copy, so you own the digital copy. Now, if, say, you get online and you get a copy of, I'll share a story with you because I did this. I have no problem sharing with you. I got a copy of Warcraft, the original Warcraft 2, a couple months ago, and I got a warning for it. Because Comcast is goofy. It's a 30-year-old game, Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness. And Blizzard is just a finicky company where they protect their IPs by all means, given it's a 35-year-old game and nobody plays it anyway. I got hit with a DCMA notice a while back saying, "Oh, we see you getting Warcraft 2 from 1992. You're bad. Squirt with a water bottle." I was like, "Oh, no.
The water bottle.
Squirt with the water bottle. You're bad. Don't do that again, or we're going to shut off your internet."
So this is the great community we have. So Doodle has assured Doggo that she's going to send him soap. Tony wants to know if it's soap on a rope. So I'll show you guys the soap that I got from Mini Monster.
Okay.
Hopefully you guys
So-
can see it here.
I'm guessing Doggo is True Crime Cafe.
Yes, this is well, my light sucks. I'm gonna turn my ring there. Hopefully that's better. It says wash your nuts. And they're
That's
2 acorns and it's soap on a rope. But
That is beautiful. I want it.
it's nuts and it says wash your nuts. You know,
That is absolutely beautiful.
me and Doodle love our wieners. She has a
Jen-
10-pound wiener.
Jen got me some good smelling Dr. Squatch the other day, and it was amazing.
Dr. Squatch.
Yes. Bay rum.
I wish he was making a fortune, girl. I'd be on YouTube all day long. So Doggo wants to know. So GTA 5 has a mod on the PC where you can play as a police officer, etc.,
So,
etc. How do I do that?
A little bit about that. So if you're a PC player, there's a lot more you can do. There's been some communities that have managed to take the older updates and kind of on the actual physical console versions and make them playable online again, given that you own it. But on PC as well, as long as you own the game, Rockstar actually purchased the company that created that mod just recently within the last year. Hell, I think it was the last 6 to 4 months ago that they purchased the company. It's called 5M. And 5M is a role-playing platform where you can pretty much get on there and do whatever you want. If you want to be a police officer, if you want to be for better lack of term, if you want to be a 1% biker or, whatever have you, if you want to drive an actual Dodge Challenger or Hellcat or get a jacked up Ram truck or, there's actual mods that allow you to be, it gives you more of a realistic aspect as to what the base game provides.
So I have a toy that he created for me. I'll show you guys. So this is my MacBook that I hardly ever use because I'm terrified I'm going to touch a button. But this is my Mac. You see all my CrimeCon stickers on there? But this bad boy it's an Apple computer, and he can tell you guys all the fancy stuff. But it's also a Windows computer as well. Make sure I'm not doxing myself. No, it looks like it's my Discord. Yeah, it's Discord, so we're safe. So it's also a Windows computer and a Mac computer, and I have a simulator, no, an emulator on here where I can play Mother Truckin' Yoshi on this bad boy, and Mario, and all like the good old person games, like for me. I also have on this computer, which is my old school computer, I have a different doodad that he put on here. It's an emulator too, right?
Well, to break that computer down in a full perspective, it's a 2014 MacBook Pro. It's an Intel-based chipset, so it's not a Silicon. It's not a newer MacBook. It's been a while since I've touched that one because I give Kai my other one as well, my son. Both of them are 2014 MacBooks. The other one's a MacBook Mini, but there's a program that you can install on only Intel-based MacBooks, and it's called Boot Camp. So what it allows you to do is to take your hard drive and split it into 2 partitions, and giving you the opportunity to put Mac on one side and Windows on the other. And therefore, you can switch back and forth. If you're a visual editor, you can use Mac OS. If you need Xcode, you can use Mac OS. If you just need to use streaming for Windows, or if you want to play games like Super Mario, things like that, you can run it on the Windows partition. Splits both of them into that particular format, so you can use both of them. Emulators, on the other chance, some cool news got dropped for that as well. Actually, something really funny happened today. So, aside from RetroArch getting added to the App Store, PSP, also known as PPSSPP, they got added to the App Store legally now. So they're available for all devices. You can get on the internet and get the application from the App Store, and you can play your games as long as you legally own them. And from there, you install it to your phone, and you can plug the game right in, and you can play it. But Delta, the company that Riley Tested is his name. Delta is an application to where you can play Nintendo DS, you can play Game Boy Advance, you can play Super Nintendo, you can play Nintendo Entertainment System, you can play Sega Genesis. You can play all these different consoles on one application. So, and that just got released onto the App Store about 2 weeks ago, a week or so ago. And then from there, believe it or not, Adobe Photoshop, the company that does Adobe Photoshop, Adobe, they hit Delta with a class act today, and they had to change their logo to the application because it looks so close to the Adobe logo, and all it is flipped around. So they had to take the logo, flip it back around, and then cut half the logo in half and turn it. So it looks goofy as hell, but it's to keep them from getting shut down by Adobe. It's two completely different, separate applications. They're mad because of the logo and the fact that they're number one in the App Store right now.
You're welcome, honey. Doodle's awesome. If you guys are not subbed up to Doodle, make sure you go sub up to her as well. Doodlebug Fart said, "Wow, he's so smart. It took me 3 days to figure out how to screen share." Doggo, the link is pinned in chat if you want to come up and have a game conversation.
Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to break the stream or what you guys.
No, you didn't break the stream. What we were listening to is really, really heavy content. And I mean, I've got all night. I'm up. I've been drinking coffee, so I can always do that later on. But he wants to know SAPDFR game. How do I do it?
Come up on panel so I can understand a little bit better of what you're asking.
Jump on up, Doggo. The link's pinned in chat.
I'm sorry. I haven't been up here in a while. I've kind of had personal stuff going on, so I haven't been paying attention to really a whole lot of cases. I do see the notifications. I read up on some of the stuff. Some of it, it's a little bit harder for me to stomach, if you will, but I try to stay on point and topic. But you guys kind of pulled me in a little bit of a different direction here.
Yeah, no, you're good. If they want to know about games, I mean, it's what the community wants, We all pretty much hate Steffens, whatever the hell his name is, and we pretty much all just kind of would like to, like I said, snuggle my hands around his neck till his eyes pop out.
Say PD, are you talking about SAMP, like San Andreas multiplayer, or are you talking about a server on 5M?
I don't know what he's talking about. I said
Because
he's welcome to come up or stay in chat, whichever you're more comfortable with.
if you're familiar with San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which is a really old school Grand Theft Auto game, there's a multiplayer client that allows you to, as long as you own the game, once again, you can log in and play the original San Andreas game with thousands of players. They're players from Russia, Brazil, things like that, but thousands of different players.
Welcome, sir. I'm honored to have you up here.
Oh, it's my honor. Completely. Thank you for having me up here. And I'm sorry, but he caught my attention really quick. Back.
I'll have to slide you guys over a little bit. I don't want my gameplay to drown you guys out. I'll probably quit this so I don't get kicked out of this lobby.
Oh, my tag has my other channel on it too. Anyway, my name's Dago, buddy. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And thank you for having me again, Mom. So what it is, I think it's called SAPDFR. No, here's the deal. Somebody directed me to watch it one time on YouTube, and I about fell over. I fell in love with it. I'm not a big gamer, but this was like stupid interesting to me. It looks like GTA to me. I think it's a GTA base. But it says that it's a mod, okay? And you basically start off standing in a police station. You go and in the game, I watched the guy. It's a police officer, uniform and all. He goes out, gets into his vehicle, sits down, starts the vehicle, and it's whatever vehicle I guess you can make. But it's a police car. He radios into dispatch that he's on duty. Okay, dispatch responds to him through the headset or whatever the hell it is. Which
And I would assume that being the other players in the lobby also using the mod as well.
Okay, and then off he goes, and he's on duty, right? And he pulls people over, he chases people down. They do this, they do that. They make arrests, they put people in jail, and they're the whole time they're communicating through, whoever he's talking to, as like dispatch. They keep responding to him. It's like real. It's crazy.
A lot of that is done through different plugins. So, for example, whenever they go to modify the game itself or set up a server, they're essentially taking the game and installing it to that server and then adding their own custom plugins. So, for example, the radio feature you're talking about, that's more than likely a radio plugin that they've installed for that server. So whenever you go to log in, you're going to download all the content from the 5M server, and then you'll be able to do the same things as everybody else in the game. As long as you own the copy of GTA 5, you get the 5M application from their website, and then you find the server in the server listing, join the game, and it'll install all that stuff for you automatically. If not, it'll prompt you where to go on what links, what have you, and how to install it to your PC.
Okay.
But from there, you just get the 5M client, and you can essentially just join the game. And
okay, because it's so like what I guess the plugins are saying. It even shows like it looks like a real Motorola radio, like the cruisers have in them, and like my fire engine used to have in it, and all that stuff. And
he's more than likely driving like a police edition, like Ford or Chevy or
something. Actually they had the SUV. They got the Chrysler 3.5, whatever the hell they are. All of those vehicles that law enforcement drives, and it's so realistic. It was insane.
Yeah. So, and that's all done through the role play. In Rockstar, they actually purchased 5M a couple months ago. It was a community-based project, but they saw how good it was doing, and they're like, oh, we got to get on top of this. And generally, companies they push that away. They're like, ooh, bad, water bottle, squirt. But no, they saw an opportunity to profit and monetize off of it. And now they're not only the team that built the 5M application, they worked with Rockstar to make the program better for end users, other players. And essentially all it is you're getting the game, and then if the client doesn't put the files in your game file, it usually builds a separate directory. Like, if I remember correctly, Grand Theft Auto uses a format called Rage Engine, and Rage Engine's been used for like the last 10 years. But it's a particular, the best way I can explain it, because I haven't really done too many Grand Theft Auto 5 mods itself. I personally prefer Grand Theft Auto 4. But what you can do,
I think it was a 4, or I think it was 4. I think, which is how new is 5?
Huh?
How new is 5?
Oh, like 11 years old.
Oh, maybe not then. Okay.
It's Grand Theft Auto 5's been, but it was more than likely Grand Theft Auto 5. But Grand Theft Auto 4 is they're both built in the same engine, the same system. But you just go in, like what I do personally, I'll go in and like a baseball bat, right? Like if I want to change a baseball bat into a katana, I go in, I'll get whatever file I need off of the mod repository or the different websites that have them, replace that file, and it takes it from being a baseball bat and turns it into Dante's sword from Devil May Cry if I wanted.
Yeah. Okay. I get it now. Well,
President Trump, for example.
The reason why this got so interesting is I used to actually stream with another creator, which I don't anymore. I'm not going to get into that, but he's the one that introduced me to it, and one of his things was to play games every now and then. But what happened? Did I do that?
No, I don't know where she went.
Oh, okay. But they have a version of it too where that is part of the mod where you can be a firefighter, same thing, fire trucks, ambulances, all that kind of stuff too. It's all part of this thing, and it was so cool. I'm like 50 years old and I'm like getting excited about this. It's ridiculous, but um I've never seen anything like it, and it's so realistic and everything. I absolutely loved it, and I have a super computer now. And I know it can do this stuff. I just have no idea what to do. You know what I mean?
Okay. So essentially, what you would, and I prefer the Epic Games version. Steam gets on my nerves. I get the Epic Games copy of Grand Theft Auto 5, and then just you purchase the base game from their client. Whether you get Steam or you get Epic, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But when you purchase the game, it's going to make you install Rockstar's proprietary launcher any damn way. So it really doesn't matter what you use. You're still going to be launching through their weird launcher. Then you get the 5M application. You tell the 5M application where the game is stored on your hard drive, and it'll take care of the rest for you.
Okay. Gotcha.
In most cases, if you need help with that, I'm sure I could. I don't have a PC. Well, I have a PC I can use, but it's not exactly the setup I used to have. I've parted out a lot of different stuff in the last couple months. I don't really play on PC anymore. I play on console. I'll play on my phone. It's just a lot more convenient. I carry my remote with me. I can run like PlayStation Portable on my iPhone or stuff like that. But essentially, you purchase the game legally, then you go and you get the application, 5M, and then from there, you join the game. And generally, most lobbies, if it's a role play lobby like the San Andreas Police Department, it'll automatically install those files for you or direct you to where to go to get those files and how to install it to it.
Okay, got you. That makes sense there. Okay.
So that way, if you wanted to be Officer Doggo, which is pretty catchy, it does have a ring to it. You can do that.
Okay.
It's cool. Pretty cool. I haven't done so much of the RP stuff myself. I deal with like a lot more different community-based projects. I tried to stay away from Grand Theft Auto because in my personal opinion, they've kind of been milking the entire gaming community for 10 years.
Yeah, I get it.
They've been milking the same game for 10 years and making tons and tons and tons of money off of it. And they're talking about charging an insane amount for 6. I'm honest, the only 2 reasons I would ever buy Grand Theft Auto 6 is because it's home, it's Florida, and it's be one of the first times in history that any of the Grand Theft Auto games has a female protagonist in it. So
absolutely, yeah. And like I said, my son, my youngest one, he watched me watching the gameplay on YouTube, and he's like, "What is that?" And it does come off really cool, especially when you can talk to dispatch and they respond, and yeah.
And you can actually put the cuffs on them. You can carry a real Glock not a real in-game, but a Glock.
And then the thing is once they're arrested, especially in the police game, they're arrested. You go through everything, and then it shows you what happened to them in court, what they got, and then it's just so in depth. It's crazy. I love stuff like that. So
what's cool is a lot of those different servers is that my brother. He's a little bit more familiar with the role play side of things. He did it on console though. I don't know if he really messes with PC now. But they use a system called CAD. It's a CAD system where they can go in, they can pull up the police computer in game, and they can type in a character's name or a player's name or whatever, and they can pull up their list of crimes and things they've been arrested for, traffic tickets,
right? Well,
stuff like that.
That's what we used. 911 uses an actual CAD system in real life. That's why it's awesome. I love it. That's really wild. But I mean, I guess it's better than doing other stuff.
The customization is truly endless. If you wanted to drive a CAD, if you wanted to get a police edition Ford Escape or Go, it's there, it's available.
Yeah, that's what I've seen on the gameplay watch on YouTube. It's just I've never seen anything like it game wise. It blows my mind how far ahead in technology we are.
The beauty of it is it's not something that Rockstar created. It was all made by people like me and you and mind of mine, and people that want a different, fresh experience instead of doing the base, normal, in and out, heist, robbing people, shooting.
Right.
And me, I got bored for a long time, and the only reason I would log in, as horrible as it sounds, would to be to go kill other players, and that was the only entertainment I would get out of it. I didn't care.
I get it. I get
I
it.
didn't care about robbing the casino or doing any of that crazy stuff. I only cared about the player versus player content.
Yep. My kids are like that too. My older ones that play, they actually play stuff, but they're not that. They don't have the time to figure out all that stuff. They didn't even know about that when I asked them. I just looked at them. They don't do those games anyway. They're more into like Halo type games and stuff like that. So,
the game I'm playing now, and it's actually kind of cool. Maybe somebody in chat will check it out. Maybe the replay crew will come back and check it out. It's a game that got decommissioned about 10 years ago. It's called Save MGO. It's Metal Gear Online 2. It's kind of like a military-based shooter. But what they've done essentially is repackaged the entire multiplayer, not the base game content, because you have to legally own the base game content. But it's all private servers. It's a very massive community. Sometimes there'll be nights where there's 60 players. Some nights there'll be nights where there's 200 players logged in. And it's just, I like these community projects because they basically take these dead games or dead consoles and repurpose them for up-to-date modern usage.
okay. That sounds pretty wild. Yeah, one of my twins is playing Fallout. Is that what it's called? Fallout?
I think it's Fallout. Yeah, Bryson loves Fallout. It's like he's got Fallout. I think there's a multiplayer. There's Fallout 76. I really
Yeah, that's what he's playing, and it's just nonstop. That's all he talks about. So yeah, that's the right one. It's kind of like what is that game that it's super popular? It's like a war fighting game.
War Thunder?
No, it's the most popular one that has the zombies and stuff in it too, I think.
Call of Duty?
Yeah, it's kind of like, from my understanding, it's kind of like Call of Duty with a sci-fi twist to it or something, I guess. I know it's Fallout.
It's like nuclear, like the nuclear war happened, and everybody's in like robots, and it's. I've played a little bit of it, like the very first one, like the guy, like within the first couple of seconds of the game, the guy's kid gets killed, and it's a whole thing.
They lock them in a vault, and then like 100 or like 20 years passes after they drop a nuke. And the cool thing about Fallout, I've always loved the aesthetic. I stopped playing it about Fallout 3. I haven't played 4, I haven't played 76, I haven't played New Vegas, but from what I remember, they drop a nuke on the world, and it's kind of like the world, if I remember correctly, it starts off in like the 70s or like the early 60s.
Okay.
Everything, even like the retro TVs, all of it is like very 50s, you know what I'm saying? But it's also modern as well. You've got laser guns and Fat Man is this cannon that's got like a mini nuke that you put on your shoulder and and it's
cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a gamer really, but like I got it for what I do out here. I need to find some kind of a different release to where I can take a break from this shit sometimes and just kind of like do something. And I love horror games. I play the hell out of stuff like that. I have a PlayStation 4 that I plugged back in one day, and I found
I'm actually going to be working on jailbreaking mine here in a couple of days. They just dropped a 11.0 jailbreak for the PlayStation 4, and I have to plug it in and find out what update I'm on. So
what does it do on it? What does a jailbreak do on the PlayStation for you?
So for example, here I got you because I've got a PS3 sitting here in front of me. I can kind of give you a little bit of an overview. It's not a PS4, but the PS4 uses a very similar format. The only difference is how it's signed and installed. On PS3, it's called a PKG. On the PS4, it's called a PKGJ.
Okay.
It's a packaged file that the PlayStation understands. But I can install custom applications or just dead video games that nobody plays anymore. Or I can use a webman tool where I can install files from my computer to the PlayStation over the router, or
Gotcha. Okay.
If I wanted to put a copy of Linux, which is like it's a Windows wannabe, if you will. Linux is a lot more open source, but for the sake of argument, I'll call it a Windows wannabe. So let me flip my camera around here for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to like take over your stream. I was just when he said
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. Hell, it's Friday night. You never know where we'll end up.
Yeah, right. That's usually what I'm doing. Wow, that's nice.
Tomboy, I got my coffee. Look, it's got a pit bull on it. It says decafs for sissies.
Yeah, I need to cup myself. I'm tired, but this stuff's interesting to me.
Mom's I don't know how familiar you are with the PlayStation 3, but Mom probably remembers endless nights of us playing Red Dead Redemption and looking at this goofy screen, right? But right now it's right now this is the retail version that it's in currently. It is custom firmware signed, so hold on, I'll go over here for you first and show you what I got going on here. No. Oh, where is it?
Hey, Tomboy. Good to see ya.
System settings.
Coffee too. It's just iced.
Way to go, girl.
Now, PlayStation. No, wrong one.
Is Doodle still in here?
Yep, I think so.
I'm trying to find the about setting. And you know what? For the sake of argument, this is just how the PlayStation would normally come. Just pretend that's not there. This would be when you go back in 2008 when you would have bought a PlayStation 3. This would have been the normal font and program you would have seen until you install custom firmware or hybrid firmware, which is what this is on. Go in here. I press this little egg. It launches. What it's doing now is enabling the custom firmware. I'm in developer mode. I've got Webman. I close that out. And now I can go in and I can install my own packages. So, for example, here's my package direct. Oh, my bad, wrong button.
Hey, Victoria.
These are different package tools that I've installed. So that allows me to read a different format of storage drive. This is a internet FTP tool. This is a custom game that SaveMGO put together. And this is a PSP game that shouldn't be running on a PlayStation 3, but because it's a customized unit, I can do that. I can go in here, I can launch PlayStation 2, I can launch PlayStation 1, I can open up RetroArch and play everything from the Intellivision to the Atari to the Super Nintendo, pretty much any console. I've taken this unit and turned it into any retro console you can think of. If you want to play a Sega Genesis, you can. If you want to play Atari 2600, you can. Commodore 64, you can.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God, that is so flipping cool.
So, but I don't have any of the mini games installed for retro. I don't know what's on here. I haven't touched RetroArch in a while.
Nothing's gonna stick in here when it says computers for me. Nada.
This is a PSP game, and generally you wouldn't be able to play this on the PlayStation, but I went in and I repackaged the title to be able to read off of the game, and now I can just...
Wow.
And I'll show you it as it being a PSP game, because when I pull it up, it'll show you the little PSP console on the multiplayer screen. And it's all in Japanese, so you won't be able to read it, but I know what essentially it says. This is a Japanese version of the game. They have an American version, but the Japanese game just has better audio altogether. And
Final Fantasy.
Yes. And with it being a Japanese game, hold on. Because the actual PlayStation client makes me use X, but once it's done, I just press circle. It's all in Jap. And then if I wanted to, see the little PSPs?
Oh, wow.
I can take my phone that has the PSP emulator and connect it to this PlayStation 3. Someone can play on this PlayStation 3 and the other person can play on their iPhone. And boom.
Wow.
And
I should introduce you to my kids. They would probably want to be your best friend.
well,
Dude, you need to go to Microsoft.
I've got a repository file that I could send over to Mom, and you guys can take a look if you wanted to. I used to run a cafe a while back, and I closed it down because it just wasn't getting the propulsion that it needed at that point in time. But here, let me see if I can't just set this guy up real quick. Make it a little bit. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but just to kind of show, I guess, a little bit of gameplay. I don't know. But essentially, this would have been a game that you would have played on a console this big.
Right. Yeah, I remember what the PSPs were. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't.
So essentially, you could pull up on this per se, like the original Street Fighter from Nintendo.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I love Street Fighter 2 Alpha. It's probably yep. You can run Street Fighter 2 Alpha. I wonder what games I actually have installed on RetroArch.
What about like the old school Mario Brothers from Nintendo?
Absolutely. The possibilities are endless. Here. I'm gonna kill this real quick. I'll see if I can't. I think I might have Gran Turismo 2 installed, the arcade edition.
Wow.
PlayStation 1. I'd have to check real quick.
He put all this stuff on my computer. My MacBook, I have Yoshi, I have all the Super Marios, I have any game you can think of.
Egg.
Why aren't you working for Microsoft, bro?
Because nobody likes me.
That's crazy.
Because why?
With others.
Nobody likes me, and I don't have certifications. I teach myself a lot of this stuff because I don't.
Who cares? You know, that's so stupid that they do that. I would, if you know what you're doing and you do it right, piss on them stupid. It's a piece of paper.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but a lot of places they see it like I guess finishing things. Like they know you're going to go through with
Donkey Kong.
If I can get him to launch.
What was that other green one you just showed earlier, Tomboy?
It's from, what is it? The Nightmare Before. I don't know what the hell his name is.
It's Boogie Woogie.
Oh, Boogie Woogie. Okay.
My granddaughter thought she needed it, so guess who's making it?
Lucky her.
So let's see here. Another application like this is another game that got banned about 10 years ago, called PlayStation. Sony. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but about 10 years ago, Sony Network got kicked offline for about a month. Microsoft was up in like 2 hours, but they got kicked offline for a month, and it was because of this game right here. And there's a group of developers that have brought it back to life. It's basically like a hub platform where you can hang out with your friends and wear different clothes and go to different spaces, and it's all right. Let's see what I've got installed on RetroArch, though. I can't remember what's on here. I might have Super Mario on here. I don't know. If not, I can definitely put it on here for you guys. Super Mario.
That's who I thought this was before I saw his face. I thought it was Arctic Fox. He kind of sounds a little bit like him.
Huh?
Somebody in chat said you sound like Arctic, and I said that's who I thought you were before I saw you, because you sound a little bit like him.
Boy.
Yeah. This is where I get to show how old I am, because I can't see up close unless I have these stupid things on.
Oh, don't feel bad. I'm right on top of my laptop. Otherwise, I'd be squinting.
Mm-hmm.
Give me just a second. I'm not.
It's your show, bro. I'm just sitting here.
No, I'm just this thing. It's so.
I don't get to catch your mom's shows very often, so I got excited. I seen she was live, and I ran in here real quick.
The thing about older consoles as well, they're old.
Well, yeah, of course.
So They don't always do what you want.
I get it. Take your time, buddy. So do you constantly, are you always in there working on that stuff, Tomboy?
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that.
Kind of figured as much, because every time I see you, which I'm out here a lot myself, and you're always out here when I'm out here. So, and you're always in there when I'm out here. So that tells me, yes, that's what you do.
I'm gonna
There's
flip me
people
around real
downstairs.
quick
I
while
don't
I
like
do this.
people.
Oh, I get it now. Gotcha.
Okay, let's see here.
You sound like Doodlebug too. She don't like people either.
I don't know why RetroArch's not working. But RetroArch's on iPhone now. To play.
It's not that I don't play well. I just don't like people.
At least you're honest. Yeah, I can't. My wife has an iPhone. I have a slam droid. I call it because it's garbage anymore.
Doodle, they're too people-y for me. No people.
I'm making update the
Yeah, Doodle don't like people. She likes me, but she don't like most other people. Oh, you're an only child, so you're spoiled. I get you, Doodle. That makes sense. Hold on, give me a up, or just do what you're doing. I'll be right back. I need coffee now too. Thank you guys for talking about it and making my craving come back.
I can't go live without coffee. I have to have my coffee.
Neither can I.
I've got my cup here, my Mountain Dew for backup.
I'll tell you what. This will tell you. War Eagle sent me. Oh, those are cool. Are those dog tags?
They're door hangers, yeah.
But they look like dog tags. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And I no fingers were misplaced during sawing.
That's good. Good to know. Our War Eagle sent me a box of 42 what's that coffee place that everybody loves? Not Dunkin', the other one.
Starbucks.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, there we go, baby.
It was a box of 42 K-cups from Starbucks and a packet of the dry creamer that I use.
Oh boy, I can't.
It was gone in 1 week. 1 week, the whole thing was gone.
Oh yeah, I burn up Keurigs like they're going out of business.
Yes, we've been through 3 Keurigs because of me. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm on my second coffee pot in a year.
I live on it.
I have to have my coffee. You have never had Starbucks, Doodle? Oh my Lord, you have to have some Starbucks. And if you're a chocolate person, you got to get the chocolate brownie warm because you can order it warm and it is phenomenal.
Here, I'm going to do something for you guys. Pick a game, any game. From, say, Super Nintendo. What'd you guys say, Super Mario earlier, right? Yeah, any particular Super Mario 1, 2, 3, Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island? What do you?
That's Dago's area of expertise, not mine.
I'll pick one for you guys.
You're lucky I knew how to run the Atari when it was out.
I miss Atari.
The bad thing is my parents owned an arcade, so
I can slap. Oh, for real? What?
Yeah.
You can buy Starbucks coffee at Walmart, Doodle.
Target too.
Ooh, and Target?
Yeah.
Getting all fancy tomboy with the Target.
I don't go to Target. My daughter's, that's like her second home. I go to Dutch Brothers. Because Dutch Brothers is the only one that sells white coffee.
Admin. There we go. I'd turn on admin real quick. I've got a feature where I have to hit like 3 buttons on my controller to turn on admin privileges. And that's to
Doodle
keep.
says she misses Nintendo 64. What you know about that?
Oh, Mario Kart all day. I could throw Mario Kart on here for Nintendo. I don't know how well it'll work, but I haven't messed with it. I can definitely throw it on here though. We'll try. I'll grab Super Mario World. I'll grab Mario Kart 64 and maybe Tomb Raider.
That's my daughter's favorite game ever.
Let's see here real quick. I gotta switch over to PC real quick. Fire up the whole computer. This thing is a bucket, dude. But
Found McMahon second in Donkey Kong.
Or Donkey Kong. I could put Donkey Kong on here real quick. It takes like 5 seconds.
He's over
My
there in his world, I think. Oh, well, he's in his chair. You could
my
come
favorite
say hi.
time was Dig Dug.
I
Shut
don't
up,
know that.
Mark. Breaking the stream. I feel so bad.
No, you're good. You're good. Like I said, it's Friday night, so and I'm up for a while. I mean, I was just gonna run the audio, but I mean, it's really heavy and like
I get to sit back and play Twisted Metal with you. Oh my god, it's gonna be so much fun.
oh, I can't wait. Yeah,
Dude.
the Maddie's case is like really, really heavy, and I've got the audio. Dandy, one of the other mods, Dandy Linus, she sent me the audio. So I was just playing it, and it's really, really heavy, and like a lot of us do this, and and like Doggo, like I was on his panel earlier, and he actually did a decompression live, and that's what I was gonna do tonight. And then I thought, well, I'll run the audio and maybe bitch and moan about how much I can't stand Steven, whatever the hell his name is.
Loser?
But I'm glad you came up because it's a breath of fresh air to kind of
It's something
to not
different.
talk about all the evil and the ugliness. It's
Just
I'm and I think
break
chat's enjoying it too.
in the
So
obscurity. Let's see here. I'll grab a couple titles real quick.
it is a
But
nice break.
I was gonna show Doggo real quick what the cool thing is. So, like for example, and you could do this with a PS4 as well, but kind of.
Victoria.
Let's see here. All right, so I've got my computer set up.
He went to get coffee, bub. He'll be
I
back
know.
in a minute. He'll camera back up. Thank you guys for all being here. I hope you guys are enjoying the decompression live. It's nice to just kind of decompress and
So
not talk about all the heaviness.
this file right here, this folder, this whole folder here, you see those little numbers? It's connected over my my local Wi-Fi. That's actually the hard drive right there on this PlayStation.
Oh, that's fancy.
So from there, I can go in here and I can access the hard drive and pull up its brain. But what I'm going to do here real quick, I'm going to flip the camera real quick because for privacy purposes, I'm going to flip the camera around for a moment.
Look at all that luscious hair. I make pretty babies.
And for all intents and purposes, the games I'm about to start playing, I do physically own. I would suggest if you do plan on playing these games, purchasing them and dumping them yourself. Just for legality purposes, I have to say.
Did I hear somebody say that Doodle never had Starbucks?
She has never had Starbucks.
He's back. Yay!
Doodle, what the hell? Like you don't know what you're missing, kid.
Victoria just scolded me that they had worms in their coffee, so now I'm like scarred forever.
Wait, what?
It has to do with the beans.
So, Doggo,
I'm listening to you, bud. Go ahead.
I want to show you something real quick. So, and I just showed them. I was waiting for you to get back before I go.
Sorry about that.
This folder right here with all these little files and whatnot. This is the brain of my PlayStation on my computer. So, all the information on that little hard drive right there on this console, I can access on my computer over the internet.
Okay.
So, from there, and I'm going to put this back around so I can do what I need to do real quick.
So what is it? Does it go to the cloud or something and you just pull it back to your PC?
It's all done over my local area network. So I basically can pass data from this computer through my router to the PlayStation without having to plug in a flash drive or any of that mess because it gets kind of annoying.
I got you.
Let's see here. What were we gonna play? We were gonna play Super Nintendo, right? Or somebody said Nintendo 64, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard you in the background. Mario Kart or something. Yeah.
Let's see here. Get it pulled up because
Nintendo 64. I'm trying to remember the game I loved on there. GoldenEye.
Goldeneye. I could probably grab Goldeneye real quick.
My kids played it, but I played it more than them.
Let's see here. SNES.
See, this right here is proof that college is just a waste of money in some senses.
It's good for
in,
getting drunk.
In some senses.
Surgeon, I know that much. I couldn't be a brain surgeon, but
well, you could probably program a computer to be one, though.
Yeah, maybe.
See,
He showed me a guy that cooked his Thanksgiving dinner in a computer.
Like I said.
Oh, this damn thing.
Doodles 26, 25, and 8. Girl, you stretched
Those
them
are her.
out.
Those are her kids. Yeah.
As soon as I'm trying to show. Hold on, I got a better idea.
I have a.
An 8.
Preston is 8. Yeah, he's the youngest one.
I'll do it for my iPhone.
And then I have a 31. Is that the other one there, Mom?
This is my redhead. Yeah.
Oh, see, I own a redhead too.
He's not a streamer. He found a turtle.
What?
He did. I pulled up a picture of Tater.
Of Tater? Sorry.
Yeah. Never show Tater.
I have a 31-year-old, a 30-year-old, 3 28-year-olds, a 29-year-old, and an 18-year-old as of today.
All right. So, here's a good one. Here's a
Tater.
Here,
32, 31, and 27.
That's just a little turtle.
That's an Arizona turtle. That poor little turtle was cooking.
We had an alligator turtle come in our. Well, he met us at the garage door the other day.
Oh,
must have taken about 80 pounds.
Oh wow! Nintendo hit one of my sources. Jeez, bastards. We're gonna try this thing.
Oh, but I
How
do.
dare them?
How dare?
Recognize his hair.
What'd you just whisper? I heard you're whispering.
Nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're such a liar, and you're not even good at it.
I'm not.
It's okay. Yeah, this isn't died. I haven't died this in a long time.
Boom. There we go. Download will start in 8 seconds. Somebody else said Goldeneye.
You're right, Victoria. I was 18.
S64.
That's another turtle. That's a big one. Damn.
Yeah, he was a soft shell turtle when we went to see the baby gator or the big gators.
Kong 2, I think. Which Donkey Kong? Donkey Kong Country. That's what we need right there.
Oh,
They have we started out with the radiator slider. He was about the size of a $50, I guess. And now he's about that big. He's huge. And
I
he's
found down the road from my house. I found one this big in the middle of the road. I swear to God, it looked like a dinosaur. It was this big around, and it had the most beautiful shell I've ever seen in my life. It had little squares all over it, and they were orange and yellow, like outlined. That they were bright neon orange and neon yellow squares, like outlined in the squares. It was crazy. I never saw anything like it.
Box turtle.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Box turtle.
Yeah.
These guys in here real quick.
It was huge, though. He was the size of one of those little kids' Power Wheels. That's how big he was.
And I'm sorry if I sound like a schizophrenic. I talk to myself a lot.
Oh, you just met me then, because I do it every day, all day.
I talk to myself way too much.
You can ask him. I could be live with 300 people in here, and I'm still talking to myself, not them.
That is no lie.
See? No, you're not, Doodle.
That was my swamp puppy.
gonna take like 30 seconds to finish this, and then I can flip back.
No, hey, buddy, don't rush at all. Take your time. I'll if I fall asleep, wake me up. It's no big deal.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Because I'm
I
gonna.
promise I won't screenshot it and share it.
You're in a mood tonight, aren't you now, Tomboy?
I've
She's hitting me all left and right. I'm telling you.
I wouldn't know what to do with 300 people in chat. The night that Mini Monster was in Nashville, we had 7,000 in chat, and I was.
Oh, that was nuts.
It was crazy. I've never had that many people in a live. I think the most I've had in a live was like 300 people, and it was well, I had 300 people in chat whenever they had the scare of the high school shooting in Daytona, and the night that he was in Nashville for Raleigh, we had 7,000 people in chat.
The most I've ever had was, and I don't even know how it was. I think it was almost 1,200. But it was a stupid Idaho stream. I don't even know where they came from. I had 1,000. Was 1,160 something or something like that. But
what's crazy was I went to go take my other half to go to the bathroom. Like we were walking down Gay Street. We were just we were talking to the locals, you know.
Was this for Riley?
Yeah, this was for Riley Crane.
Yeah.
We're walking down Gay Street. We were talking to the locals. One of the men that were interviewed and had his leg amputated, we actually met him. They're on Gay Street, and we go to McDonald's because she had to pee. You know, just happens to be one of the. She's like she had to pee, and I wasn't going to make her. The clean bathroom I could think of was halfway across town, and so to keep from because Nashville is Nashville. Because in some places I just wasn't going to allow her to go in because it's gross. We get back from being. We were only gone for like 15 minutes. It started getting dark outside. No sooner than I'm pulling in the truck, I'm getting boxed in by ambulances and fire trucks. Like there's a fire truck in front of me, there's a fire truck behind me. They're blocking off the road. It just it popped off right then and there, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" It was kind of nerve-wracking. The parents were no less than 5 years away from me. I did everything.
Oh, you told us about this, Mom. I remember this. Yeah.
It was really nerve-wracking. Really nerve-wracking. And I'd never been. Not to say that I was in the spot, but I've never been that close to the shit going down.
The action.
Yeah, and I think we had another. What was his name? His name was
CJ.
CJ. Yeah, it was C something. I didn't want to call him Carl. We had CJ.
His name is Chris.
Yeah, I for some reason I thought Carl. I used to know a guy named Carl though, so he's probably thinking about me. All right, cool. Now I can switch back over. So, go switch off from Windows. But yeah, that whole situation, it was just really intense. And
oh, I'll bet. I've been on the other end of that many, many, many times. I'm a retired fireman, paramedic, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was really intense. And I did not. And it would be the one time that I'm standing in Nashville, you know, and some crazy stuff like that just pop off out of the blue. And it was an older man that had fell in, but that just being proof to the pudding that they need to do something about that whole, like,
yes, they do,
strip of land going into downtown.
Well, even that whole walkway where you come, where you saw Riley crossing the street, and then he comes around that bend and he goes down towards that bridge. That all needs to be blocked up there so people can't go down over that side of that riverbank. That's dangerous as hell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna have to restart this.
In my opinion, at least.
That's horribly dangerous. And you guys can see in this video, they got that little crappy little wooden railing that's not even a fence, and there's only like a few feet of actual fence. But this
People
is what you walk back up
right over top of that.
Yeah.
It's really sad because of being from Nashville, growing up in Nashville, and I'm sure, you know, in the last 10 years, if not the two people that in the last couple of months that fell off there. I'm sure, if not more than we know, have fell off into that river.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to take the kids fishing right there. Like literally right there at Fort Nashville when they were little, we would go down on the rocks and take them fishing.
When
And
for Riley, they found a Hispanic gentleman with I guess it was either on his knee or his chest. It was a panther that he had tattooed on him. They found
I
that
remember that.
was a Jane Doe. There's so much stuff down there in that canal not canal.
I can imagine. I know how things are here. When we have drugged the lake looking for people, we find people we're not looking for. So I know how it goes.
Oh boy, I dropped you guys.
yeah, the Cumberland's disgusting. Like I said, there's bodies, cars, debris, sunken barges. Like you name it, it's in the Cumberland. Like that is a dangerous monster.
And the Cumberland, I read a story way back when the mafia used to run through Nashville too. Okay. And there's things in that river. If they drained that whole thing, completely drained it, you don't even want to know what's going to come out of there. I'm telling you.
Mm-mm. Hell, they'd probably find half the missing people in freaking Central Tennessee.
Exactly. Along with money, guns, and everything else.
Welcome in, Ace's mama. Thank you for coming in. And Butterfly 71. Nice to see you, ladies.
Hey, guys.
Doodle said we just had a body pulled from the Mississippi. The Mississippi is, you got to think they call it the Muddy Mississippi for a reason. Generally, if you go in the Mississippi, they're not going to find you.
Listen, here's a story for you. Ooh, Zelda. That's a great thing. We had a body fall in the Mahoning River here in Trumbull County, Ohio. Listen to this. It made its way down the Mahoning River, which breaks off into the Ohio River. The Ohio River dumps into the Mississippi River. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A body from Trumbull County. It went into the water here where I live, and it was found in the Mississippi River down in Mississippi. Okay. That'll just tell you how far it can go. That looks amazing. I haven't seen that game since I was like 12 years old.
Here, I'll try to fix it, make it a little bit better. And this is all running natively on the PlayStation 3 console.
It looks like it's got PC graphics, though. It looks great. I see it still has the same noise. That's hilarious.
And I'm running it all off of a PlayStation remote.
That's so weird.
It feels great. It feels absolutely natural.
So you can pull up the old like Castlevania and all those fun. Oh my god, I couldn't do this, you guys. I couldn't do this. You guys will never see me again.
Oh, dude, it's so you can do it if you wanted to, and you can plug it into your TV. It's so much fun. So much.
Well, I have it's not brand new. It's new as of like January, maybe. I have a Asus GeForce RTX graphics card 3040 or something like that. Somebody told me it's like one of the best graphics cards you can get, so I think I can run anything, right?
You said it was a what?
Yeah, Asus GeForce RTX 3040.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're running pretty much anything you want.
Okay, so then I could do all of this then. Okay, cool.
I mean, you're not unless you're playing something that's like core intensive that puts a lot of load on the CPU and not the GPU, the graphics card. Then yeah, you can run a lot. You can run a lot in 4K if you wanted to. Like that's a beast of a machine right there.
I have 9 fans inside my PC.
I don't have certain buttons mapped to my controller, so I got to reset this thing. I should have did that.
I got another question for you too, because I'm not very good with a keyboard. I'm kind of a dipshit with it, to be honest with you.
You a Honda Pack?
Can you, Jesus, can you plug one of those controllers in to play those PC games on a PC?
What do you mean?
Like I know how to use a controller for PlayStation or whatever, but
yeah, like if you wanted to buy if you bought a PlayStation 4 remote, or personally I like the PlayStation 5 remote. It's a lot more convenient. There's an application called DualSense X. It basically takes, because Windows computers, they usually only read Xbox remote, which is kind of lame, but you can get an application that'll redirect all the inputs from a PlayStation remote to Xbox format so that the computer understands it. You can use a PlayStation remote if you wanted to. And you can use lights, all kinds of crazy stuff. I think we lost.
I can mount this up to my computer.
Absolutely.
Oh, don't tell Dago that.
Absolutely. And you can do everything that I'm doing on your computer with that remote.
Oh, he loves games, girl. This is his thing. He's in heaven right now.
Here, what'd you say? GoldenEye? We're gonna launch that one next.
My grandson is still downstairs playing the Xbox that he hasn't got to play in 2 months because he's been grounded.
Oh, he won't get grounded anymore, huh?
Yeah, but
he's already grounded again from today. So
I can't remember the application for the PS. An application.
Welcome in.
Lou says Soul says I can make an airplane fall out of the sky. By how are you doing that?
Huh? Let's see. Hold on. What? I can make an.
Says I can make an airplane fall out of the sky.
I hope not doing it by the way I think you're doing it.
that game 1942.
Oh wait, are you talking about messing with like radar CAD systems and stuff?
Oh, hopefully not.
Don't do that stuff.
My. Oh my.
No, don't do that stuff.
Yeah, we can't have none of that. Let's not.
I don't do online games because most of them are, well, they have pretty, I know what you mean. A lot of them are, but there's some really cool ones, Victoria, that aren't. There's a lot of games that are very realistic and like virtual without using virtual reality games, but that you could play that you'd probably like. There's cooking games, there's farming. You could be a farmer. You could be a virtual simulator, like flying an airplane. It's really cool stuff.
I had a pot farm many years ago. I love that game.
Remember? Does anybody remember? I was addicted to it too. It was on Facebook. Farmville on Facebook. Yes.
Yes, I was bad.
God. I was really addicted to that.
Dude, I was so bad on Farmville that I figured out, because my son being on panel and you guys see what he can do, he fixed it where I could go in like I was in the UK. And dude, do you know they got so much cooler stuff than we did?
Yeah.
I had a hot.
So here's GoldenEye. Hold on. Where's GoldenEye? Where are you, GoldenEye? How dare you?
I know what I don't want to be in a game of cop. Yeah, Farmville was the shiznits back in the day, man.
No, you don't need to be a cop. You already done that in real life. You don't need to do it in a game.
I guess. Damn. Open. What in the hell? I don't know what's going on with the 64 games. What the hell?
It's no big deal, but I'm impressed with the fact that it's even a possibility. I've already seen 3 games that I haven't seen in years. Yeah, I bet you are, dude. I don't blame you for that.
Yeah, not at all.
I'll tell you one thing. As much as I'm like a dog when the sirens go by my house from the fire trucks and the ambulances, I am like a dog. I run out on the porch and I stare at it, but I can't go back to that. There's just no way. So I don't miss it that much.
I have the wrong file.
After living in Nashville for so many years, we live out on a private road now, and like you don't hear any sirens and no gunshots or anything like that. It's really weird not to have.
The only gunshots we hear out here are our own.
Right, like my neighbor when he has like family, which he's not really a neighbor. He's like a swamp over.
That's cute.
He's beach, whatever.
The beach gnome.
Yeah,
that's cool.
As much as I love Donkey, I don't think I've ever beaten this. To be honest with you.
Is that the original Donkey Kong?
Yes, sir.
I beat it.
That's a hard game.
That's because we had the arcade.
Yeah, it's true. Lots and lots and lots of quarters.
Kind of.
No, ours were free.
Supposed to run.
Wow.
I appreciate that.
You're cool. Yeah, I think 20 years is. I don't know how anybody can do 20 years in law enforcement nowadays. Honest to God, Doodle.
Yeah, because it gets pretty crucial. I mean, imagine
Not this day and time.
No.
People are sick.
Yes. That's why I said I couldn't go back to fire and EMS nowadays. It's so much different since I've been gone. I've only been gone like
I think the
10
case
years.
there was a case Mom was telling me about. It's been a little while back, but I think that was probably one of the most horrifying things I've ever heard. Mom, do you remember telling me about the lady that the house had particular freezers picked out for people that they were kidnapping, and then the feds were getting closer to where they were, and they blew up the house, like set it on fire with propane. What was that about? There was this woman that broke free.
She said, "Huh?"
It was this woman that apparently had broken free from these kidnappers, and they had a freezer picked out for them, and they were cooking people.
What?
Yeah, I remember you telling me about it. I can't remember all the specific details.
I don't remember the details. I'd have to find it. It's
Good Jesus.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts.
I was thinking, I know there was that one case where that woman was killing her children and she was putting them in a freezer. That black lady.
Were like, I think it was 2 men.
I never heard of that one.
I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering incorrectly. I can't remember to save my life. I got the worst memory since I took my brain injury, but see the files right there, so I don't understand.
My sister-in-law just retired last year at 30 years with the Broward County Sheriff's Office.
Broward County?
Wow. Ooh.
Yeah.
That ain't no joke down there.
That's rough.
She spent the last 5 years on beach patrol.
That's like working in. That's like working in Compton in California.
Yeah, no. I don't even like going to South Florida, much less be a police officer down there. Negative Ghost Rider.
Well, I'm highly impressed with everything you just talked and showed me. Like, that's really wild shit. So
I'm confused as to why.
I would love to do something like that here, especially for my son, so that if he wants to jump in here and play something, that would be awesome.
Thank you for everything you do. Thank you. And you too, Doggo. You guys are awesome. Thank you both for your service.
Oh, absolutely.
I took a different route in my younger
Thank
years.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very grateful that I'm not a tree beaver. That's all I'll say.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. Ask Doodle. Ask Doodle.
What the hell's a tree beaver? Beavers are vicious little fuckers, man. Have you ever dealt with a beaver?
Yes.
Hell yeah, I'm from Idaho. They're all
With a
over.
baseball bat. It's the only way I could keep it away. They're mean. I was going after my dog, and I had to
Dude, they're like gators with flat tails, man. I'm telling you, like a beaver is an asshole.
Teeth were like that big sticking out of that thing. I was scared to death. It was a name I came up with. I was mad at somebody one night, and this lady was the worst troll I've ever seen in my life, and I just went nuts and I called her a beaver. I don't know where it came from.
Doodle says, yes, Doggo, you are my favorite tree beaver, but remember the clean beaver is a happy beaver. This is true.
Amen.
Oh.
Otters. We have an otter that I don't know if I've ever actually walked you guys around the property, but we have a swamp on back here. We have a swamp over here, and then we have 2 swamps on either side of the driveway. And there's an otter.
You're not infested with gators?
That we had one was it night before last?
You told me about the baby one, but
Yeah, the little baby one, but we've had one big one. Well, I mean, he was probably about 5 foot, so he's really not a big one. I guess 12, 13 foot, but he was big enough that my ass wasn't getting back out of the car until somebody came out there. And he just kind of strolled across the driveway like he owned the place. And I was like, looking at the dog going, go get it. And he was looking at me like, no, you go get it.
That's why I don't live in Florida because of that. I don't deal with alligators or I got enough crazy. I got Mothman living in my backyard. That's enough for me.
We lived in Florida when Katrina hit. Because we got the front side of it. New Orleans got the other side of it. But we had just moved from Oregon. Oregon doesn't have shit like that.
No.
So I go out to get in my car the next morning, and there's it's a Jeep. There's a shadow under my Jeep. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I kind of bent down. It was a 9-foot iguana.
Oh yeah, those fuckers are
Nine-
everywhere.
9 foot.
Rolled the window down and got in the truck.
Good God.
Oh yeah, they're all over down there. Just when you see the videos of them walking on water, they'll walk across the canal no problem.
Like Mini Monster lived in Boca, and he can tell you they're everywhere. Like everywhere. Like we walked. Where did we walk to the corner store that day? We were in Boca.
On us, yes, they're everywhere.
Chickens
in the trees. Don't they sleep in the trees?
Yeah. Down there, they're what do they call them?
But they jump from tree to tree.
I don't know, but if it gets cold, they fall out of the trees.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Down in it's not where it's. I guess they're evasive. Yeah, that's the word. They're evasive creatures. Apparently, if you hit one, it's not a crime.
Really?
Yeah, you're allowed to kill them.
They're like cockroaches down there. Like not to be out of pocket or trigger anybody with cockroaches.
They're everywhere.
It's basically fair sport, which is not something I necessarily agree with because they're beautiful creatures. We really ain't got no business picking them up. But what's great, I used to work at a convenience store called Quick Stop down in Boca Raton. Shout out Eddie, he's probably one of my favorite people in the world. But there was we had a group of Hispanic men that would come nightly and buy us out of Modelo. I'm talking buy the whole freezer out. We'd have to have the truck loaded the next day. And they'd all sit out there and get their scratch-off tickets. And one night we had a huge, I'm talking like as long, because I'm a 6-foot man. You know what I'm skinny, but I'm a 6-foot tall man. Picked up this probably 300-pound iguana and was just holding him around, showing him off to everybody. And I'm like, what the hell?
They get that big?
Yes, they get massive.
Yeah, they're huge.
It was a female, too. And it was ungodly huge. It was terrifying.
The females are nasty.
It was monstrous. And yeah, whenever the wintertime comes around, they hang out on the trees. My other half, she worked at a brokerage. And she took a picture of one just vibing. And every day she'd go by, it was hanging out on a tree, just hanging out, sleeping. Wow. And it gets so cold down there that they just...
That's what I was going to say. I was watching my buddy's girlfriend or his wife now. She's from down there somewhere. And they were out walking. He was doing a live stream, like showing off where he was. Because he's from the Carolinas. She's from Florida. They went down there for Christmas. They're walking and he's videoing everything. And you can see it. Like they were just falling. Like a bag of potatoes out of the tree. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It was. It was cold as hell.
It's probably some of the craziest. I wouldn't say the craziest, but one of the crazier things I've seen while because it's like when I first got to Florida, just being in the amazement and being around the palm trees was cool enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably, but when I got down to South Florida, that's when it really got. Dude, the animals are nuts. Everything's bigger. The only thing I'm heartbroken about, and she's heartbroken about too, is we didn't see any bullfrogs.
Oh, I got those here. Plenty of those here.
Giant bullfrogs that poop human-sized poops.
I have those here. Big, like I have a pool and they like my swimming pool. They live around my pool. It's crazy.
I was so sad. I was so sad.
When I was younger, I lived in New Smyrna Beach, Florida.
New Smyrna's pretty. Have you been to Breakers? Been to Breakers Bar?
That's where my sister-in-law lives. She lives in Boca. They both live in Boca, and then her in-laws live in Palm Beach Gardens.
Breakers Bar has a burger that I took. I almost made it through that entire burger, and I had a seed catching in the back of my throat. I swear.
Now, it was funny because when I first moved down there, I'm from Ohio, where we have things, but nothing like down what you guys have. But the first night I was there, the next day I woke up and I'm standing at the screen door, smelling the air, and I was like, "This is beautiful." Because you could walk out my front door through my front yard, cross one road, and I was standing in the ocean. Literally, that's how close I was to the beach. So I'm standing at the door, drinking my coffee, and this thing goes whack right on the screen. And I went, it was about that big. And I lived with my uncle, and I was like, "What the hell?" And he goes, "Oh, that's just a cockroach. Flick it off the screen." And I went, "A what?" And he said, "A cockroach." It was that big. No. That big. And they fly. And I was like, "Oh, hell no. I ain't staying here. There's no way."
You can saddle them son of a bitches and ride them, I swear to God.
Well, so I started getting used to living down. I went everywhere barefoot. I'd skateboard, board barefoot. I'd do this, I'd do that. It didn't matter. It was just barefoot because that's everybody down there never wore shoes. So whatever. Until did you know that that roaches do migrations?
Huh?
Yes.
Okay. So I walked down to a 7-Eleven in downtown, down by, I think it was Flagler Avenue or whatever the hell it's called down there. And I walked back. It wasn't that far. And I'm barefoot. You could walk into the stores down there barefoot. It was no big damn deal. It is what it is. So I'm walking back and it's dark, but there's street lights every so often. In between the street lights, you can't see it. It's blacktop, but it's dark. So you don't see things. And I'm about probably from here to my front porch away from home. And I stepped on something. I thought it was a rock. And then I stepped on a bunch of something else's too. And I'm crunch. And I backed up and I looked down under the street light. It was probably 300, 400, 500 of these roaches crossing the road.
Just giant.
All together. They were all big. They were just across the road. And I was like, I almost threw up on myself. It was disgusting.
It's scary, and they fly too. So yes. And you're like, oh God, it's terrifying. And then when they fly at you, then you run for your life. And me, I have a big thing. Like, I'll fight 350-pound men. Put a bug on me. Put a ladybug on me. Put a cockroach on me.
That's how I am. Me too. And then the little teeny tiny fucking. I woke up once. Sorry. I woke up.
Cuss all you want.
I woke up and the first time I turned and looked on the wall, and there's a lizard about this big on the wall inside my bedroom. I don't know what it was. It was a tiny little lizard, and I said, I can't stay down here. There's giant cockroaches and lizards everywhere. I said, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah, it's just
first time Shelby experienced a palmetto bug. She's like, "Mom, there's a water bug in my room." I'm like, "Well, go kill it." So she gets her shoes, she goes to kill it, and that some bitch started charging her. She's like, "Oh, nope, you can live in there. I'm going to the couch."
Nope.
Yeah, they're actually called palmetto bugs, right? But they're still cockroaches in a sense. They're in the cockroach family.
It's a giant cockroach.
Yeah, the palmetto bug. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A duck is a duck. A cockroach is a cockroach, and those big fuckers are cockroaches. Let me tell you what. When we were living in Daytona on Beachside, there was one, and I kept hearing something in the apartment, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?" And he's too big to get in my chair, but I would show you my 180-pound alarm system, and he is scared of everything imaginable. He's a Staffordshire, so he's just a chicken shit. And I'm like, "Get the bug," and he's like, "No." Goes in his house, like, "No, you deal with it." Oh, hell with it. I put him on the leash.
That's too funny.
Victoria says, about your mysterious tree creature, doggo.
What are them? God awful ugly ass duck.
Oh, you're talking about my Mothman. Yeah.
Muskogee duck. Those things are mean. They look like a duck but got the head of a chicken.
My Mr. A what?
A Muskogee duck. got the body of a duck, the head of a chicken.
I've never heard of that. That's crazy.
You have to Google it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I have something living in behind my house over here. And I live way out in the country. And nobody can just figure out what the hell it is. Nobody that lives here, nobody that I've talked to about it. So we've come to the point where I believe it's the Mothman. It's probably the size of my niece, my granddaughter, sorry, since she's pretty much like to my chest at this point. It's all gray, white, and black. It kind of resembles what I can gather from it, an owl, but it's got like an 8-foot wingspan. You can hear it. You can't even see it. It does that woof, woof, woof when it's flapping its wings. We've never seen this thing clearly. We get little glimpses of it, flashes of it, and it makes the most god awful noises I've ever heard in my life. I don't know what the hell it is. I can't figure it out. The closest thing that we could find to it was no butterfly. It's not a chupacabra. It flies. Tommy, do you remember what that was? That creature thing they found that looks a lot. I said it looks like it.
Like
What about a thunderbird?
Doodle. What'd you say?
A thunderbird.
No, it sounds like that's what I thought. Like, but I know they don't exist. But not around here or anything like that. It's not Jeepers Creepers. Doodle, stop. They found something and showed it to me, and I said, I swear to God, that's probably what it is. It's some kind of an owl type thing. I don't. Yeah, Victoria, this is way bigger than any owl I've ever looked up. Somebody said it's probably a prehistoric barn owl, and it looks. The pieces of it that I saw have that look to it, but it's so big. There was something somebody found and sent me a picture of, and I can't think of what the hell the name of it was. It was some weird thing.
An albatross?
No.
Not a bird.
It's like half owl and half something else. It's got a very strange name, and I can't think of what the hell it is. But it's not indigenous for this area. That's the weird thing. But whatever it is, has been here for the 3 years that I've lived here. What was the name of this thing? It's huge though. And the picture that I saw makes the one I have look small, which scares the shit out of me because that means this can still grow. I'm not down for that.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. What the hell are those things called? It's like a prehistoric bird.
It's not a pterodactyl. That's what I called it, just out of joking. But it's called a. There was a name, and it's so. It's not a phoenix. I'll remember it when I leave. I can't think of this. That's what I always do.
This guy?
What'd you say? Nope, it's not one of those.
A spoonbill?
Nope. It doesn't match up there. I live in the Midwest in Ohio, so anything should not be around here, like any of this stuff, and it's here. I can't remember who found it. I think it was Molly. What the hell was it called? Not a frogmouth. It was the noises that I was hearing.
A giant Cuban owl.
Nope, it's not that.
A taxonomy?
No.
Okay, because I can't say that other word.
And it was attacking rabbits, like from the sky, dive bombing rabbits, and like I had to hide my cats and my dogs because I got small dogs. But
yeah, this thing says it's about half the size of a human.
How do you spell it? What is it again?
Taxonomy.
Ace's mama, who is Wally the gator? Is that the gator? Was it Clearwater? There was a huge gator that used to come in the stores down there. He had one eye. They ended up putting him in the gator farm. Phoenix.
I don't it whatever I typed that in and nothing happened. Let me try it again.
Here, I'll here's the word that it says here.
It gave me something to do with taxes when I pulled that up.
That's where I know that name, Emotional Support Gator. Yeah, I have heard of him. He was rescued from Disney, and he's actually a really cool. That's a really cool story.
There's an emotional support alligator.
Yes.
That's wild.
Yeah, he swims with kids, and is that I think that's the same one, isn't it? Ace's mama, the gentleman that rescued him from Disney, and he's got some kind of growth. Something's wrong with his growth. There's like 10 people that I can think of off the top of my head that have emotional support gators.
Oh wow.
Emotional support gators.
You know what? This almost does look like what they showed me before, Tomboy. This is
He's missing.
This is pretty close to it.
So I kind of want to explain myself. I'm not lying, so I'm sorry to break.
Oh, you're
So
fine.
I was wrong. Well, I'm not. It's not that I'm wrong. RetroArch has multiple builds for multiple consoles, for Xbox, for the Nintendo Wii, for all that. Apparently, my dumb butt, they don't have a core for Nintendo 64 on the PS3 version of RetroArch. So I kind of feel... I got excited that I was going to be able to show you guys GoldenEye and whatnot, but I did find something similar, so...
Oh, okay.
I'm cooking, so...
No problem. No problem at all. That's kind of close to it, Tomboy, but not quite. It's something else. It's really ugly, whatever it is that they showed me. So, earlier,
I'm gonna sneak off. They're pounding on the floor. I guess it means it's bedtime.
do you communicate with these people?
I'm married to one. Go.
You always she's like, okay, they're pounding on the wall again. It's time for me to go eat. Then she's back. Then she's like, they're pounding on the wall. It's time for me to go to bed. I'm like, do you communicate with these people? I get it.
No,
It makes
they
sense.
get home at like 7:30. I go eat dinner. I come back up here. I go to bed at 11:30. She's out in 10 minutes. We good to go.
And then you wake up and you go back to your room and start the day again.
After they leave for work.
There you go.
That's horrible.
Makes perfect sense.
They occasionally come up and hang out in here, but not very often. Because they tend to move things and then I can't find shit.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
Yeah, this is my world of chaos right here, and I'm territorial, so I get it.
Yeah, mine's about to get smaller. I'm turning my desk completely around this way and moving all of my toys around behind me, my shelves that I have over here. And then I'm taking my green screen that I never use and I'm moving it around this way. So I'm going to be boxed into my own little cave back here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's the way I am.
There. I mean, you can see a little bit of it, but I have 32 feet of glitter.
32 feet?
Yeah, let me see.
Holy shit.
Serious glitter.
Holy shit.
I bet Joe is devastated. Oh, that's horrible. Oh my gosh. Guys, if you don't know the story about that gator, this gator was like his life, dude. Like he was really severely depressed whenever he rescued it.
Mm-hmm.
And like they like gave each other a reason to live.
Mm-hmm.
And Ace's mama said somebody stole him and released him into the swamp with other gators. That is a horrible thing to do because that gator will never make it out in the wild. It has been with this man for many, many years, and he's been like on CBS, I believe, was who did the expose on him, and like he takes this gator to swim with kids, and oh wow, that's devastating.
So was this some kind of an asshole animal rights activist or something?
Probably.
That's so disgusting. People just don't get it.
Douchebag. All right, I'm off.
Bye-bye, Tomboy. I'll see you tomorrow sometime.
I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Sunday I'm out though because I have to go to the Sixth Floor Museum in Dealey Plaza.
Yes, yes. Tomorrow afternoon is Caden's party here, so you won't see me then, but maybe in the morning.
Alrighty, y'all have a good night.
Have a good night, dear.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, honey. Thank you for coming up.
No problem.
Why do people do things like this? I remember this story now. I remember this guy too.
Yeah, that is so sad, dude. That's so heartbreaking. Like, people are assholes.
Leave people alone. God. I
Well,
don't
it's like the
understand.
guy that had the big gator. I can't think of his name, but he had the huge gator, and like because during the scamdemic, his license had run out, and they wanted to take it, and like it had its own. He built a freaking whole room on his house with like an environment with a pond and everything. And oh man, I was so pissed off watching that. You can't do that to people.
Yeah, people need to leave people in their business and everything alone. This is horrible.
Wolfenstein sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I agree, Victoria. Wolfenstein, that's an old game. Guten Tag.
Yeah, dude. That was a really good game, actually.
Yeah. Well, I found a DOSBox emulator. It's DOS games.
Yeah, if you bring up horror type games, I'm really into those.
I'm grabbing Doom 2, and Wolfenstein 3D. So I've never messed with the DOSBox emulator before, so it's gonna be a little
cool. I feel really bad knowing this. I'm looking at these pictures and videos of what is wrong with people.
People suck.
Because I remember the story. This guy was so happy with this gay alligator, and like
it like snuggled with him and stuff, dude. Like that's
now watch when this guy passes on or something because this gator's gone, and because people can die of a broken heart. Okay, I can't stand people anymore. I swear to God.
It's scientifically proven that a broken heart is a real thing. Your heart has strings around it. They're, the term heartstrings is actually and they break from stress.
I knew a married couple. They were neighbors of ours for a long time. He was just the good old country guy. We lived in the city, but him and his wife were married for 72 years. Okay. He was healthy as a horse. He used to sit by his garage every day and work on lawnmowers. That was his thing. She would stay in the house and cook and watch her soap operas, their everyday life for years. He contracted some form of cancer that took him within like 30 days, right? And he passed away, and she was perfectly healthy. She was a little like 20 years younger than him. Within 30 days, within a month of him dying, she passed away. And when their kids did everything, the doctor told them it was literally from a broken heart. There was nothing wrong with her. She just went to sleep one night and didn't wake up. She was so unhappy and so miserable after Chuck died. That was the end of it. So,
well, hello. That's like one of your famous phrases. Sorry.
Holy shit, that's a big monitor. What size is that screen?
This is a 22-inch. It's a 75 frame hertz.
Why does it look so big?
Because my
okay.
Phone is.
I'm sending you a stand. I have an extra one somewhere.
I have a stand here. It's a pain in the butt.
I don't even know where it's at. Somewhere in this chaos.
That's right. I found two things. I found because I took a big L on the Nintendo 64, not knowing that this can't run 64. I'm sure I could. I've had so many damn different modded consoles. They all bleed together. Normally it wouldn't be an issue, but it would be the one time that I try to show it to you guys. But I found something else that was pretty neat.
Duck Hunter. Yeah, that was a badass game. And Ace's mama, when I was a kid, Duck Hunter was real big. And guys, I'm sorry I keep playing with my eye. I've done something to my eye. I don't know if I scratched it or what, but it's irritating the shit out of me. But Duck Hunter, like, my brother would play it, and he would, he was like really into games, and That's
Contra.
probably where Mini Monster gets a lot of it from. It's in his blood. And I figured out that if you
I have
took
a
the
story.
controller and you use the controller, you could make the ducks like fly all weird, and he would get pissed off. Mom, she's messing with my game.
That's
Oh, he
funny.
would be furious, but yeah.
Well, yeah, if it wasn't, I will say this, if it wasn't for my uncle, I probably wouldn't have spanned off in this direction because, and that was one of the biggest things. If he ever watches this, thank you so much. Back when Brent used to work at Pilgrim's Pride, he went to a LAN party and was playing Halo 2, I think it was. It was either Halo 1 or Halo 2, and he was so good that he beat everybody there, was like running the room, and somebody bet him their modded console for a original console. Like, hey, if you win, you can if you beat me, you can have this modded Xbox. And I held on to that thing for years. It got destroyed at NAS, and I wish to God I would have still had it today because I loved it so much. I thought about building one, but it was a modded Xbox. It could do anything. I could rip movies. I could, for the statute of limitation, I could go to the game store, get games, download them, take them back. It was like an infinite game glitch. But it was, if it wouldn't have been for my uncle, then yeah, I don't know if I would have messed with modded consoles at all because that was like, I was still young. I was like maybe 9, 10 when he started. He originally didn't want to give it to me, but ended up giving it to me anyway. But
that thing was a Frankenstein that had screws in it and everything else.
Well, the reason it had screws in it was because somebody got a hold of it, and I'm not going to say any names. They may have been geeking and took it apart and put it back together, and surprisingly it still worked for years later. But yeah, I was kind of heartbroken over that. I wish I would have still had that. But the cool thing was when they did put a screw in it, it could get FM radio, so it was actually really nice.
So I tell you guys another funny Mini Monster story. So he's like 12 years old, and we lived in Rivergate. Matter of fact, not far from where Sebastian's missing from. But we lived in Rivergate. And, this was back when an iPhone weighed, 10 pounds. They were huge. And I upgraded my phone. So I gave my iPhone, what was that? Was it a 3?
Yeah, it was an iPhone 3.
So I give my iPhone 3 to him, right? And he had a laptop in his room. So he's a teenage boy. He stays in his room. He was either in his room or in the shower, but mainly in his room most of the time. So he comes out of his room, and sorry to put you out like this, but he's like his mom. He's not a crier. Like, he just doesn't cry.
Oh, I'm so upset.
He comes out of the hallway, and my 12-year-old, like, hardcore Nashville raised kid is like, Mom. And he's got his hands out like this, and I'm like, what? And he's like, I blew it up. He modded an iPhone 3 into a PSP. Isn't that what you did to it?
Yeah, they have PSP now, but I mean, back then it wasn't ready for that kind of
the
power.
phone exploded. So I take it to Verizon thinking, hey, they can fix it, right? Because they fix phones. And I walk in there, and the guy looks at me, and he goes, been doing this for 20 years.
I've never seen an
iPhone do that. Good night, Aces. Thank you for coming in, honey. I'm honored to have you in here tonight. Come back, love.
Good night, Aces.
So this isn't exactly this isn't the N64. This is somebody took and reverse engineered the game itself, the actual source code, and made it for PlayStation 3. So essentially they turned the Nintendo 64 game into a PlayStation 3 game. And it has full functionality. But yeah, I can't, that would still, I wish, a buddy of mine, he collects iPhones. He's got everything from the first generation up to like modern day. I think he has a personal like iPhone 14, iPhone 13. I wish I still had, because back then those used a different infrastructure. They used a 32-bit infrastructure, and there's an application I would love to get. It's kind of like The Legend of Zelda, but you can't get it anymore because iPhones use a 64-bit infrastructure like computers do, and they no longer support 32-bit applications. But yeah, I blew up my first iPhone. That was not. I did. I remember crying over that one. I was kind of upset.
He was very upset. Kinda upset was not it. Like, I'm talking like ugly crying down the hallway.
You'll have
Mom!
that. I get it. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna have to take off from here. I'm I'm tired as hell. I feel it now because I started off this morning. I got up at 7:30 this morning, and I was researching till I think noon or 1, and I went live, and then I did. Yeah, I've been going all day as always, so I'm burnt out. I think.
Yeah, you're
I
good.
really,
Thank you for coming up. I'm
really
honored to have you
appreciate you
come
having
play
me.
on my front porch.
Yeah.
If you need help with getting anything set up, Doggo, I don't know. Do you have Discord?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, awesome sauce.
Yeah, your
Mom,
mom's in there.
if you could send. Oh, that's right. That's well. Are you in the Mind of Monsters Discord as well?
No, not yet, huh?
Well,
I'll drop the link.
If you drop the link, or you can add me directly. I'm not going to say my name on stream because it's a little bit profane. But I can help you get some of that stuff set up. I don't exactly have a PC on hand to test things, but I can help you in the process of getting a lot of that set up. 5M should be really simple, really easy.
That would be very cool.
Getting your remote connected to your computer, that's a program called DS4. You can get it through Steam, but it's better if you download it off the actual supported website. I can help you get a lot of that taken care
That
of.
that would be very cool. Wait a minute. How do I just click this link?
Yeah, you should be able to. I can send you a private one.
And yeah, I definitely don't mind helping you get set up. That's not a problem.
I appreciate that, bro. I really do.
I used to run a server based off emulation and sourcing and open sourcing different content. And after 5 years, I got tired of running it by myself. And it was, well, not by myself, me and my best friend, but we essentially closed it down because it just wasn't getting the friction that it needed.
That would be awesome. I really appreciate that because I am not by any means whatsoever computer literate.
And then on top of that, I have a file that I built from the server because the server's gone. It's dead and gone. It's going to be more than less. Until I get the aspirations to bring it back up. I've thought about it, but I have a file I can send you as well that's got 5 years of work for stuff like this. I'm really bad at watering things down myself, but my buddy Sushi, he's a developer for Ryu and the Suyu team, which are Switch emulation teams where you can play Nintendo Switch on computer. He kind of has taken his time to handwrite a bunch of those tutorials and guides and make them easier out the gate than it would be just Googling it. Just like 1, 2, 3 tutorials.
That would be awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Of course.
Very much appreciated too.
Reach out to me on Discord, and I've definitely got you. I'll take care of you.
That's awesome. I think I'm in the Wall of Shame.
Oh boy,
Did I go into the right place? Wait, where do I need to go? Chit chat.
Did I send you the wrong link?
The think tank.
No, that's Frankie's link. What the hell?
You may have sent the.
Oh, okay.
Hang on, how did I do that?
No idea.
Oh wow, I done sent you the wrong one. That's not my server. Why did my server do that?
You gotta click on your server tab name and then the invite link.
I did. I'm gonna do it like this because I don't know what the hell that was.
Whose server am I in? Just so I know.
Frankie the Think Tank.
Oh, okay. I see there's a lot of crime stuff in here, which is cool. So
yeah, she's a smaller channel. I'm a mod over there. She does a lot of daytime. She's a Canadian, does a lot of daytime lives. but I don't
Oh,
understand why my Discord link went to her. You're gonna have to go in Discord and find out what's going on. Minnie,
all
it's
right.
because
Now,
I accidentally pulled that from my invite people.
okay, cool. I'm in here now. I see Doodle and Kimber and Victoria.
I'll go in real quick and I'll add you real quick.
Thanks for bringing me here. Yeah.
Yeah, we got fishing and all kinds of stuff in Discord, and it's an open link. And Minnie's
Okay.
a mod in there, and Mecky's a mod, so they keep it pretty clean.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. All right, everybody. I'm gonna go try to sleep now. It's always fun. Thanks again for having me. It was absolutely
Yeah, thanks for
awesome.
coming up. I
And
appreciate
Doggo,
it.
I just sent you a friend request, sir.
In Discord? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's not going to be Mini Monster. His name is not family friendly.
Yes.
I see that now.
Sorry about that.
It's
kind of-
okay.
it's
You
kind of
don't no need to
sorry.
apologize. That's funny, actually.
People in the emulation seem that they either like me or they don't.
That's the best way to be, too.
A lot of people, I get messages all the time, like, "Oh my God, I love your name," or "Oh my God, what the hell is wrong with you?"
Mm-hmm.
And you never know what kind of avatar it's going to be. It could be some twisted Alice in Wonderland or who
That's
knows.
hilarious.
Right now,
That
it's
is
Miss
hilarious.
Masato. It's Miss Masato from Evangelon. I got on an Evangelon kick there for a while. It's a really good. If you do like, I don't know how everybody feels about animation or anime.
My kids are obsessed with anime.
Well, Evangelon, the rebuild, not the original one. The original one's a little bit more controversial, but the newer version, 1, 2, 3, and the last movie, they're actually really good. What they do is they take like 4 seasons of Evangelon.
I love anime.
They cram them into a movie, and
That's
it's a
wild.
really good play on humanity, if you will.
This is what my son got me for Christmas, my youngest, Doggo.
That's wild. Good Lord.
It is amazing. I'm kind of jealous.
What? I don't know.
I went on TMZ and completely forgot that my laptop was turned because I was working on something. I didn't want the kid walking past me. So
Mhm.
I'm on. I didn't even think about it. Like I went on TMZ because I've been on there several times. So they call me and they say, "Hey, you want to come on the show today?" So I go on. I didn't even think about it. And my youngest son calls and he's like, "Mom, have you watched the TMZ video that you did today?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "You realize that's national television, right?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "Mom, pull up the link." So I pull up the link and she's right behind me. And I was like, "Oh, God, anime titties. Wonderful.
Yes,
Cute
yes.
anime titties on TMZ.
I love it. Hey, it's all there. It's all real. It's no big deal. It is what it
They
is.
are
People like
real.
it,
They're
they don't.
squishy.
It is what it is. Yes, once again, I accepted his friend request and I got in here. I said hello, and everybody in the chat here, thank you guys for supporting this channel as always, because this is an amazing place to be. Thank you for being amazing and doing what you do, Mom. I appreciate you very much, and thank you always for having me again. I appreciate you very much.
Oh, Doggo, you're always welcome. You're awesome. Thank you so much for everything. And thank you for letting me come and sit on your front porch with you. And you're
Everybody
welcome
loves
here anytime.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Same with you in my place. You know that. But
My
guys,
tiki hut is your tiki hut.
amen to that. Same here. Doodle, love you, and I will talk to you soon. Everybody else, Victoria, P, who else is in here? Butterfly. All of you guys have a great night. I'll see you
Good
guys
night,
soon.
love.
Good night, sir.
Good night, bro. Have a good night, guys. Good night, and God bless to all of you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
You too, honey. Get some rest. P. Fox
Yeah.
said, since we're all kind of nerding out, I'd just like to say how excited I am about the new Planet of the Apes. I am not. Is it a movie?
I have never seen. I don't think I've. Yeah, it's a Planet. It's a movie. I've never seen any of the Planet of the Apes movies. I don't even think I've seen the original one. I've just never watched them.
Dude, I'm telling you, everybody loves titties. I'm telling you, dude. Like, sometime like when it's summertime and I'm at the beach and it's not super awkward, I'll show you my tattoos.
But you drew yourself, by the way. Don't forget to leave that part out,
Yeah.
or not leave
No,
that
I
part
drew
out.
my heart. My heart on my chest. I drew that. The one that's on my leg is old. She's old flash art from back in Vietnam, and I just took her and kind of tweaked her a little bit. Said parts of the film were filmed, and oh, that's awesome. P Fox, I missed it. What was the what? Speaking about tattoos, I have my wrist piece. It's kind of hard to see, but it's a music note with a key in it because believe it or not, I'm a musician. I have a huge back piece that's a butterfly, and it says, "Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, she turned into a beautiful butterfly." I have a lower back piece that is his biological father's tag. It's a whole different lifetime ago. We'll talk about it sometime. I'll tell my story. Um, it is a lot of people call them the laugh now, cry later faces, but he called them the faces of evil, faces of pain, faces of death. And then I have an old school chick that kind of looks like her on my leg, except she's not anime. She's original flash work from Vietnam. And then I have an anchor, like a towboat anchor on the back of my neck because I'm from a river city. And I have a heart, like an actual legit heart that I drew on my chest. And I think that's it. Yeah, as of right now. I've seen the older ones. I told my husband if he doesn't take me this weekend, I want a divorce. That's priceless.
Oh my.
Mom, oh cool. I have 3 of them, a mom and daughter tattoo. That is awesome. So my mom is no longer with us, and I have an old debit card of hers. So what I want to do is on my other wrist, I want to do like a heart with the beating and then flat line out and put her signature on the flat line because her heart's what took her from me. So that's what that I mean, eventually when I get time to go to a tattoo shop, that's
I
what
have
I
a gun. I have a
done.
whole tattoo kit.
And then Mini Monster here, he has some ink, and then he actually has put some of his own ink on. But when before he was thought of, um, his father, his biological father, whatever the hell you want to call him, the real monster, we actually owned a tattoo shop back in the day. So tattoos are something that's just like a part of who we are.
I can't believe you did not. Well, yeah, that's a perfect name for him. Oh my.
What, the real monster?
Yes. Jeez.
Yeah, he's definitely the real monster.
That
I
weirdo probably watching this,
probably
lurking in the
so.
bushes.
Be creeping in my bushes. Make sure you hit the like button there, bub. We know how you are. I know you be creeping on my stuff, randomly pop up on my Facebook and send me a message and then block me. What kind of shit is that? Have you guys
I
ever
don't
had
know.
that happen? Have you ever had an ex like pop up out of nowhere, like one of those like swamp monsters that you see that like crawl up out of the swamp at night and like eat eat freaking the local wildlife and then they just disappear back into the swamp? That's like him, man. That's like him. He just comes out of nowhere and like messages me on Facebook, and after I see it, he blocks me. I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, I don't even have a chance to respond, and I'm
He's
blocked.
embarrassed of being who he is.
Yeah, right. says my nickname and has mountains and sunshine. That is awesome. I love that. See, you guys have one too? You guys have a swamp monster that pops up and then blocks you? He's such a prick. And he's a gamer too and like knows all this stuff. Like Mini Monster gets it like he gets it honest. But yeah, he's something else and he probably is lurking in my bushes. Like I
Two
said, as
things
long
that
as
that human
subscribes,
the two things that human beings done positive for me in life is Tool and Twisted Metal, and that's probably about it.
but
Oh,
plus
and
is
Give
that
Me Life, and a
daughter and
wonderful,
I got ours
and
just
my
turned
wonderful
18 over
mother.
here. Some of your story and Doggo's live. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. He was the epiphany of a piece of shit. Like the only good thing he ever gave me was my son and the ability to travel all over the United States and Mexico. Other than that, I have nothing for him because he is pure evil. But he made me the person I am today as far as being strong as I am and overcoming, all those trivial things that, we shitty choices we make when we're kids and growing up, I got married on my 16th birthday, so, I had many when I was young and I lived through hell, but it was who made me who I am today, so and I got a beautiful son out of it, so there's that.
I'd still like to meet my half brother.
We all have a swamp monster. And he looks just like you.
What, me or him?
Doggos.
Wait, what?
Your brother looks just like you.
My half brother?
Hmm. Yeah, except he's got brown hair.
Where is he?
In Richmond. It's the last
Richmond,
place
Kentucky?
Yeah.
Oh, so my half brother's in Richmond?
Hmm. Yeah, but
Do you
he
have-
did live. You got married at 16 too, Doodlebug. Yeah, like I'm from Paducah, Kentucky, and I'll tell you guys the story. So I had a stepdad that didn't care for me much because when he came into my life, I was old enough that I didn't need a dad. I had a dad. He just was non-existent at the time, and me and him didn't get along real well. And he felt like he could just beat the hell out of me whenever he took the notion to do so. And I'm sorry, you married my mom. You don't get the right to put your hands on me the way he did. And Mini Monster's biological father was my best friend. And I snuck out my window one night because, like I said, I'm a runaway OG from back in the day. That's Keno. Yeah, he's such a cutie little sausage. I love a sausage. Uh, we he come and got me in a 1987 Firebird, Malibu blue. Come and got me, and we made it to McRae, Georgia. Guys, this is like the middle of nowhere, Georgia. Like Atlanta is the closest biggest city. And we get pulled over. Well, he goes to jail. I go to juvenile. But before we went to jail and juvenile, McRae, Georgia has one of those old jails with the bars, like still like from the cowboy days. Like I'm not even kidding you guys. And takes his dog tags off and hands me his dog tags and's like, "Will you marry me?" Well, hell, I didn't want to go back home. This was my best friend. Never kissed the man, never did anything. I mean, like he just literally just come to get me out of a bad situation. And that's how we got engaged, was in jail. So right there, big red flags. Just saying, off rip. And he went to big boy jail because he was 19 years old and I was 16. So a lot of this I haven't talked about online, but that's another reason why I have an understanding of what we do here and the importance of men that are of age not screwing with younger women because or girls because their brains are not developed to the point where they understand that something wrong is going on, or maybe they do understand, but I didn't leave for a relationship. I left to get out of a bad situation. And so I ended up going to juvenile, which was horrible, by the way, in the middle of nowhere, Atlanta. And my mom came and got me and took me back to Paducah. Mind you, I got my ass chewed out from Georgia to Kentucky, and that was a long trip from hell. And so then when he got out of jail, his mom, we were headed to Florida. So when he got out of jail, his mom went and got him out of jail. He came to Paducah, and me and him decided that we were going to get married in Metropolis. So we actually got married in front of a judge in Metropolis, Illinois. We broke his dad out of the nursing home, literally, like, broke the man out of the nursing home to get married in Metropolis. And my wedding photos, I had on a black lace halter top and a pair of Levi's and some combat boots. Like, legit. The most redneckish thing you could ever imagine. And we ended up having our pictures taken in front of the Superman statue. I've still got them somewhere. I don't know what they're in storage probably, but yes, we did. We took our pictures in front of Superman. Absolutely. Because, when in Rome. So we were in Metropolis. So that's where we took our pictures at. And then we ended up moving back to Florida. Then we left Florida and went to New Mexico. And I lived in Las Cruces for many years. We lived in Las Cruces for about a year and a half. And then I got pregnant with Minnie. And we ended up moving back home to Paducah. And then back to Florida, and then back to New Mexico, and did some pretty shady stuff. So again, kind of good at what I do because I've been on both sides of the fence, I guess you would say. So then
Every now and then you got to dance in the gray.
Huh?
That's one of my favorite terms. Every now and then you got to dance in the gray.
Yeah. Well, So right. It wouldn't have been a wedding if we didn't. Absolutely had to have the pictures in front of the big Superman.
Right,
And guys, this was back whenever the casino boat, the river boat, used to ride up and down the river. But Kentucky and Illinois got into this huge argument over who owned the rights to the taxes that to tax people that were on the casino boat. So they docked it in Illinois. So Kentucky don't get no part of the revenue. True story. Not even kidding you. And so then when Minnie was born, he was actually born here in Sanford, Florida. And then we went back to Kentucky shortly after he was born. And we lived in Kentucky for a while. And then we moved back out to New Mexico. And we lived in New Mexico till he was like 3 or 4 years old. He was old enough that he'd learned more Spanish than he did English. And then we left there and went back to Kentucky and then back out to New Mexico. When we went back to New Mexico, his biological father actually got pulled over and ended up in prison for 25 years and just recently got out of prison about 5 years ago. So that's the short story version of a really long story, I guess is the best way to put it. Oh, we lived in Tennessee in between there too. We lived in Oak Grove, which is right outside of Fort Campbell and Clarksville area-ish. Thank you guys for all hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I really, really do. And again, I apologize about my eye. I believe I've scratched my eyeball, to be honest, because I wear my rings like all the time, and I believe that's what I did was sometime in the middle of the night, I believe I scratched it. So I apologize for keep fooling with my eye, but it's like really bothering me. He muted us. But if you guys have not seen the
Sorry, I had to pee.
You're good. When nature calls.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to be rude. I had to go pee in the bushes on the lurkers.
You had to go pee in the bushes.
What was going on? What did I miss?
I was just telling the rest of the story.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Hell.
I thought you could hear me. I said I had to go pay.
So this is
Oh,
the Superman statue, for those of y'all that don't know. That's the Superman statue in Metropolis, Illinois. Here's a video. And guys, this was so long ago that hopefully I'm not muted. No, I'm not muted. This was so long ago that this fence wasn't here. Like I didn't even know they had a fence up. Like that's how long it's been since I've been to Metropolis. Like many, many moons ago. But that's Superman, Metropolis, Illinois. There's a drone photo. That was kind of cool. But yeah, he's huge. He's huge. Big boy. And then in Cairo, Illinois, there's a Big John. And I think he's like one of the largest statues that are left. And then there is, I believe it's, I don't even remember where it's, somewhere in eastern Kentucky. No, Carmine, Illinois. Here he is. Can we make that big? Well, that kind of sucks. So this is Big John. Karma. I don't know why I was thinking Cairo. But he was a roadside attraction. Just some fun little tidbits. Used to live in Reeland? No kidding. Really? Dude, I could tell you some stories about Reeland, man. Whoo, Lord. The shit we did.
I can't remember which.
Look, you lived in Reeland? Do you remember the barn? Do you remember the barn? If you remember the barn, I will tell you a killer story. So, Minnie was about, oh God, I don't know. He was probably about 3 months old. And guys, again, I had him when I was young. And we were hanging out with some friends up at the barn. And the barn is like, it was like an old barn, but they had turned it into apartments. And this, for lack of better words, moron friend of his biological father decided he was going to jump off of the second floor and fly like Superman and landed on top of our Firebird.
I think I remember this.
We had been drinking. Yeah, thank you guys for being here and hanging out. You've been to Chicago? Believe it or not, my mom was born in Chicago. I used to have the news article. I'm sure I still do in a photo album somewhere. But my mother was born in the back of a police car in Chicago, Illinois, and made it to in the paper. Cairo is very scary. Cairo is a very old city, and it is an extremely scary city.
What, Cairo, Illinois?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like, y'all see my starting to get red? I don't know what the hell I did to it.
It's changed a lot. I'll say that since I've been back on this side of Kentucky. It's changed. I don't know about calling it family friendly, but it has changed a lot.
It used to be a beautiful old city. Like, it's a historic city. And like it's got so bad over the years. I mean, I haven't been there in a long time, so IDK, I just had an apartment on the main Dragon, used to work at Walgreens Red Lobster. That's awesome. Yeah, this was back in the day. We're talking like back in the 90s. It was the barn and like is it Reeland Road, Minnie, that takes you to Calvert City?
Reedland Road that takes you to Calvert? I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I'd have to be driving out there to.
Where Sharp Elementary School is.
I don't
What
know
road
what
is
that is. I'd have to. I'd
It'll
have
take
to
you
be
right
there.
there too.
I'd have to physically be there to remember.
The bingo hall. You talking about the bingo hall down by Clark's River and the strip club? I actually worked there at the bingo hall for a long time. I worked overnights with a friend of mine, and we cleaned up the bingo hall. Yeah, many moons ago.
I can get
Many.
my butt whooped.
You're getting your butt whooped.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is just this isn't an actual N64. Well, it's still an N64 game, but it's been recoded to work on because apparently the N64 doesn't work on PlayStation. I probably should have prepared a little bit more for that, but I was impromptu.
It's super cool either way.
Well, this is just a source port build. Somebody took the time to reverse engineer the game and build it for the PlayStation 3.
The one down the hill from Reeland, like towards Paducah, like when you come into Paducah. Let's see, if you're coming from Reeland, you would come up under the bridge. Like I can't remember none of the roads. Isn't that terrible? I think it's Oaks Road. Is it Oaks Road? Where you come under the railroad bridge and it's like a big bingo hall right there on the left hand side. But if you're going into Reeland from Paducah, like coming up Clark's River Road, it would be on the right hand side. Like in the Regina's. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, dude. That's cool. Small world. Small world. So we were talking in Dog's Live about Paducah the other night. I'll show you guys something cool and I'll tell you a story about it. So there is a tree that it was carved into. Let's see, I don't think that's the right one. That's not what we wanted. Let's try doing this. Chief Paducah Noble Park. So my dad was a logger, and he actually cut this tree down.
Oh, Chief Paducah, the one at Noble Park.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he actually cut this tree down. This is Chief Paducah, and it's a huge tree. And it's I believe it's a chainsaw carving. Yeah. A tree has been carved into an Indian head, Chief Paducah, which is where the town got its name. The head was hand chiseled. Okay, so it was hand chiseled by a sculptor, but he also does chainsaw, I believe. Wolf Toth from local 56,000-pound red oak to honor the Chickasaw Indians who lived and hunted in this area until the Jackson Purchase in 1818. So I can find a better picture of it. Because that picture kind of sucks. Oh, I don't want to show something with somebody's kids in it. Let's flicker. I don't know about flicker. Let's see. Looking for a better picture of him. This is kind of a good picture of him, I guess. Yeah, this one's a lot better. So that's Chief Paducah. So that's kind of cool. Yep. That's awesome. Good night, Butterfly. Thank you so much for coming in, honey.
Thanks for being a part of the
Knuckle up. No kidding.
Knuckle up tattoo.
Kidding. Knuckle up tattoo. Dude, I am so old. I remember before it was knuckle up. I have smoked so much pot in that tattoo shop. It is unreal. My anchor was done in that shop long before it was Knuckle Up.
Knuckle Up's right
Yep.
there on the. Wait, Knuckle Up used to be right there on the by the overpass, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now they've moved, I
They
think.
still do.
You know what's weird? No, I think, believe it or not, because I noticed it the last time I was over there. You know where Romantics is?
Yeah, I know where
Right across
Romantic.
the street. Not the because I think Knuckle Up since has moved shops, but if you get on Google and you look, there's a fucking daycare across the street from Romantics, and it's the same building that Knuckle Up used to be.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
I'll
like,
take you
what
back. How
the?
about the Cadillac Ranch?
Huh?
The Cadillac Ranch. That's old school Paducah. Oh.
I'm kind of upset DOSBox isn't working. What the fuck? I wanted to play Doom. I was gonna play Doom, but apparently DOSBox hates me.
Well, guys, it is almost 3 a.m. and my eye is really, really bothering me. So I am probably going to end this for tonight. Minnie, will you just stay up where you are? I'm going to end the live. Just stay in the studio, please.
Okay.
But I'm going to end this for tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming in and hanging out with me. Remember, if you see something, say something. It takes a village to raise a child. You're never alone. We never give up. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys that come in. Thank you to all my replay crew. Thank you, Doodle, for accepting your wrench tonight. I appreciate you guys so much. And I will do another live and we will play the rest of the audio since I believe that tonight was a good choice to just kind of break away from true crime. I did change the title on the live to games and, chit chat. So that way, and make sure you guys hit that bell and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It is very possible that we may go fishing tomorrow, so you don't want to miss out on a possibility of watching my monsters run from a gator. But love you guys. You guys are awesome. I'd be lost without you, and I'm gonna take us out.